What's going on, everybody? Hello and welcome to the Fantasy Fitness Network. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. Little technical difficulties there. Appreciate you stopping by the channel. Today, I've got a couple drafts lined up for you guys. We'll do a Puppy 3. Start off with the Puppy 3, and then we'll head on over to the BBM streets. Knock out a BBM today, and then we'll see what kind of time we have left. Maybe do another puppy or just kind of take it from there. What's going on, Young Moolah? Appreciate you stopping by the channel. Thanks for the note on the muted. Technical difficulties here, but we made it through. So why don't we hop on into the Puppy 3 streets real quick. We'll start there, get warmed up, and then we will move on over to the BBM afterwards. So I'm going to hop on into this Puppy 3, get a little warm up. I've done 33. So my goal is to do about 50 of these. Got another 20 or so, 17, I guess, if I stop at 50, but I might do a little bit more than that, somewhere between 50 and 75, depending on how things are going and how quickly this fills. But I'm going to hop on into this Puppy 3. We're waiting for 8. This is a large field tournament. For those that don't know, 225,000 entrants in here with a 2 out of 12, 1 out of 10, 1 out of 5 advancement structure. And then you make it through that cut down, you'll be one of 750 rosters, I guess, or, I don't want to say people because you could have multiple rosters, builds, I guess, in the finals, but 750 seat final here. We're at 64.4 on the fill rate on this guy. So it's been moving pretty quick, and I imagine it's going to move even faster now that the eliminator is full. People want to stay in like the lower stake streets. This is a good one. 100,000 a first, 50,000 a second, 25,000 to third. And we're full here. We are drafting this one out of the 10 slot. So this is CeeDee Lamb, James Cook. Occasionally you'll get like a Jonathan Taylor Faller here. But yeah, we'll just have to kind of see what happens. I think I'm actually going to pull down my ranks. My ranks are a little, when I say pull down, I mean like take them off real quick. I have to update them. It's been a couple days. And so I think what I'll do is just take them off real quick for now. And then we'll do both these drafts without ranks, and then I'll come back and I'll update them and then add them back in. But I don't want to, they're a little out of date and I don't want them to kind of throw me off. So we'll just pull those out. I just took them out. Mike Rob, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you here. Mike Rob says that the eliminator for NFL is going to be crazy next year with how much people jumped into it this year. Yeah, I mean, it definitely picked up in popularity. I didn't do it 2 years ago. I shouldn't say I didn't do it. I did like 10, just kind of dip my toe in, but I wasn't really into it last year. This year, I got a lot more into it. I got up to 65 eliminators this year and had quite a bit of fun doing it. I also built that tool that you guys probably saw if you watched any of my streams, that mapping tool for weekly matchups. And I did about half of them using the tool. So it'll be kind of interesting to see what, if any, success I have with teams that I built with the tool relative to the ones I kind of just vibe drafted. But yeah, good times. I think the eliminator is a fun tournament. I do like the traditional best ball tournaments more. Your BBMs, your puppies, your pit bulls, all of those. Those are still my favorite, but definitely enjoyed the pit bull. Sorry, the eliminator. All right, we're on the clock here. I'm going to grab CeeDee Lamb on this one. I'll just take top of ADP. Keep it simple. What I've been doing a lot of is when I'm in this range, I'll take CeeDee Lamb and then I kind of just mix in different running backs here so that I get different combos of running backs that I'm pairing up with CeeDee Lamb. And I like all these guys pretty much. I guess You know, we've seen what Henry can do, so I do like to pull up Henry sometimes. Probably a little lower on Hampton, but I'm still mixing him in just because I was, you know, slightly disappointed with his rookie year. I feel like he's kind of more towards the back end of this tier. Like Chase Brown and Saquon. Why don't I just do Saquon on this one? I don't know if I have this combo in Puppy 3. It's super chalky, but some divisional correlation here. These guys will play twice a year. They don't get anything in the playoff matchups, unfortunately, but still. Oh, man, I'm way off today. Let me get the screen going here. Sorry, I had to put my son to bed, and I've been kind of rushing to get this stream set up, so I'm all over the place. Appreciate you guys helping me out, getting things set up. Normally I'm a little bit smoother than this, but you know, whatever. It's the end of the week. I've been grinding all week. Appreciate you, Best Ball on Call, helping me out. I think we're finally ready to go. I see the screen here. We'll get to the draft board. I can see my face off to the far right, so we're good. From the 10 hole, CeeDee Lamb, Saquon Barkley. Rough start here. Let's go into fantasy fitness, and we're going to go over here to the championship weeks in the best ball zone. We'll take a look at the schedules for these two teams. For the Philadelphia Eagles, they take on Seattle, Houston, and San Francisco. Not my favorite schedule, you know, for playoff weeks. Seattle's obviously a pretty tough matchup defensively, as is Houston, and both those are at least at home, but tough matchups nonetheless. And then you have San Francisco on the road week 17. That kind of is a saving grace, I think, for their schedule. As for Dallas, at the Rams, at home against Jacksonville, and then at home against the Giants. So Dallas has a killer schedule. Definitely been targeting the Cowboys in a lot of my builds for that reason. Hampton is starting to slide here. You know, I'm seeing this more and more. I don't know if you guys have seen it too, but Hampton is definitely moving more towards the back half of this second round. And, you know, I kind of always saw him here in kind of that. I think Henry should be above these guys. It's kind of like Achane and Henry and Hampton at the back of this tier for me, just mostly because of the environment for Achane. And then Hampton, I think, you know, he's left a little bit to be desired. I think his rookie year. But here we go. We're going to be on the clock in 10 seconds or less. I would probably be Brees here, but I don't think he'll make it back. If not, I mean, it's kind of between these three wide receivers for me. T's honestly at the top of this list for me. So let's go T. We'll grab T Higgins here, and we're so we have Saquon Barkley at 15. We grabbed CeeDee Lamb at 10, and we paired him up with T Higgins here. So targeting some good offenses in Dallas and Cincinnati, and I know, I guess remains to be seen how good Philly's going to be this year. Now, if Amika falls back here, I'll click him. He goes. So why don't we grab let's grab Jalen Waddle. I like Waddle because he sets up the Bo Nix stack over here on the right side of the board at pick 106, or, you know, sometimes you can even push Bo around the turn here and get him at 111, and you can stack out the Broncos. And you're also in a range here to grab like RJ Harvey at like 82 or 87. So I think you can get the double stack here with Denver. It's a good range to grab Waddle and stack up your Broncos. So kind of a hero build brewing at the moment. We have Saquon Barkley at running back, and then CeeDee Lamb, T Higgins, and Jalen Waddle as our wide receivers. Coming back here into the fifth round, we'll be picking at 58 and again at 63. Now we're seeing Travion Henderson fall over here too, which means we could get into like a game stack if we end up getting, like, let's say we double tap. Well, we get not double tap, but let's say we get Travion at 58, come back and get like RJ at 40, at 82 or 87. We've kind of built out that Broncos New England game. Not one I'm targeting a ton, but on this particular build, I find that kind of appealing just because of the position we are on the board. And I have been seeing the Travion Henderson not only here at the back half of the 5th round, but he's also being pushed into the 6th round. And a lot of that is stemming, at least from what I've read or heard, and again, this is speculation, but his issues with pass protection. I've heard he's been struggling with that, and maybe that's part of it. We could also go like Lamar here if he falls into this range, and then you could go Lamar with T, like a 1v1, and then come back and get Bo and just do like a 2 QB, like Bo and Lamar, 2 QB. You get like a 1v1 with T Higgins here, and then you get the stack with Denver. So that's a cool way to play this. If Travion makes it back, again, he would be kind of a target here for me. We'll see what the board wants to leave us here. We're 3 picks away. Jackson's off the board. He gets stacked up with Zay. Yep. So this guy's doing the Lamar Zay stack. That one's fun. And he's got Chase Brown there too for the bring back. All right. Well, Hendo didn't make it back. I do like this price on Bucky. We either go wide receiver here and then come back and get like Price, but no guarantee he's going to be there. I think this is a fair price on Bucky. It is double by week 10, but this is an eliminator. This is puppy, so I'm not really concerned about that. We'll deal with that later on in this build. Let's grab Bucky. This is also a good range to get Godwin. So if we wanted to double stack Tampa and then come back and get like a Baker Mayfield, he's in that range for us. So we'll be keeping our eye on that as well. Sorry, we did address that issue. Let's go. I do like Price, so I don't mind clicking Price here. It's probably either Price. We could pull up Burrow, but I don't think I want to do that. Let's grab Jadarian Price. Feel good about his role, at least early on. I think it's going to take a minute for Sharps to get back into form. And in that time, he could really cement his role. Doesn't get talked about quite as much, obviously, playing behind Jeremiah Love there at Notre Dame. But I think he's an exceptional runner of the football. I don't know how good he is in the passing game yet. He didn't catch a lot of passes in college. They used Love for that. But as just a pure, first and second down rusher, I think he's got elite vision, very good vision. And I'm not like a film bro or anything like that. But, in the stuff that I did watch, the way he sort of sets things up, off of his blockers and stuff was very good. And the NFL agrees, right? They took him in the 1st round. And I think Seattle is pretty damn good in their player scouting department. They seem to do a pretty good job there. So I'm going to trust that they know what they're doing. So we're going to grab Jadarian Price here at 63. We're going 0-3-3-0 to open this one up. Maybe if we would have taken Tet there, we got a 1v1, but I still like how this is setting up. And this isn't necessarily going to get me off RJ Harvey. He makes for actually a pretty nice 4-2 on a build because I think he will be pretty volatile. Now here I like Jaden Reed. I think Quentin Johnston personally is overvalued in this range. I think he should just be a little bit cheaper. I like Jaden Reed for his spike week upside. And we've seen him do it. Last night, he had 1 catch. I think it was like 19 yards. Nice deep. I don't know if there was yak on that, but he had a 19-yard catch yesterday. I looked at some of the box scores. Okay, he is here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab Jaden Reed. This also keeps us the Love stack open. So if we get, if Bo goes, then we have now here with Jordan Love in that range. I could take Dak too, and he's likely to come back. We could go Dak and Bo, Dak and Love. So this opens up a few things for us. Baker is even theoretically on the table if we wanted to pull up Godwin here, but I think we got the 4 wide receivers, so I'm inclined to take Dak here. We pushed him around the corner, and then we're stacking him with our elite wide receiver here. So I think that makes sense. Getting him at a good price here at 87. And let's review this team real quick. So 1-3-4-0. We have at quarterback Dak Prescott. Running back Saquon Barkley, Bucky Irving, and Jadarian Price. That feels pretty strong. Wide receivers CeeDee Lamb, T. Higgins, Waddle, and Jaden Reed. So no tight ends yet. Obviously, we'll have to address that spot. If, we could have went Harvey there. I don't think we need a double stack. Bo necessarily. Certainly could have done that, but ADP of 80.8, we got him at 87. We have CeeDee Lamb here. I know a lot of people are going to do this stack, but it's fine if this is the piece you need. And again, we're looking at week 17. Giants are playing at Dallas. So Dallas at home against the Giants. That should be a pretty damn good game, I think, to target for week 17. I don't know how you guys feel about that game, but that's definitely one that I have on my short list. I also like this Tampa game with the Rams. Now, maybe it's not quite as appealing as it was a couple months ago before they signed Myles Garrett, but I still like it. And, we could get like a later Terrence Ferguson and just do like a 1v1 and get some pieces of that game without necessarily building the whole thing out. Quarterbacks are definitely being pushed further down the board. That's something that I've noticed a little bit more of. Look at T-Law here. We're getting T-Law now at 100. Post 100 on Trevor Lawrence. I mean, that's pretty crazy. Now, I don't have any pieces of that. I mean, we could backstack him if he makes it all the way back. He doesn't. He finally goes here at 103. So the slide is over. Now, Chuba's getting much cheaper. I wouldn't be opposed to grabbing Chuba here, but I also like the idea of grabbing Kyle Pitts because he's kind of a fringe. He's kind of on the fringe for me here. Now, I would prefer to probably take Pitts, and then we take what's ever left over between Bo Nix and Jordan Love. So let's do that. I think that's probably the way to play this. Let's get our tight end here, who I think is kind of like the end of a tier. And then we'll grab either Bo Nix or Jordan Love. And we stack up Waddle or we stack up Reed. Let's see how this goes. Both of those guys work out just fine with our bye week 14 here on Dak Prescott. Bo's ranked higher. I think I like his matchup maybe just a tad bit more because Love is going up against Houston and Waddle's, we took him a little bit higher. So why don't we go Bo here and we'll stack up Bo with Waddle. And we've got Dak and Bo paired up together here in our quarterback room. 3 strong running backs, in my opinion. Saquon Barkley, Bucky Irving, and Jadarian Price. 4 pretty damn strong wide receivers as well. CeeDee Lamb, stacked. T. Higgins, Jalen Waddle, and Jaden Reed. And then we have Kyle Pitts. So I'm seeing a lot of spiky profiles here. We're attaching ourselves to good offenses. All these teams should be playoff teams, maybe outside of Atlanta. So teams that should have something to play for at the end of the year. Now I heard today that T. Higgins has to change his jersey number from number 5 to something else because Jaden Reed, I guess, Jaden Daniels sent them like a cease and desist letter. So we'll see what happens there. I'm joking. I'm just playing into the Jaden Daniels number 5 BS going on. Thought that was kind of funny. Shaheed here would be fun. You know, we could kind of consolidate our bet on Seattle a little bit. What are we seeing on falls for? And then I might come back and grab. Ooh, Stribling too. He looked good. I haven't really been taking him in this range, but I might have to if he makes it here. I do have the Saquon piece, so we could go week 17, 1v1, Saquon Stribling. If we go Shaheed, then maybe I grab Sam Darnold. He's got a bye week 11, if I recall. Then again, if like Dalton Kincaid falls here, that's another interesting click. And by taking Tua, we do open up or taking Pitts, we open up like the late Tua click, which is kind of nice if you want to spread out your quarterbacks a little bit, get 2 kind of in the mid rounds here, and then come back and tack on like a Tua late. That's always kind of fun just to get like a third at a good price. Do I want to buy this like Stribling hype? Kincaid goes, so it's Shaheed or Stribling. I have no Stribling in this tournament, so why don't we do it just for the hell of it? We'll grab some Stribling. It is a 1v1 here with Barkley, week 17. And then I could always take Shaheed and then maybe... I mean, Shuck falling here too is interesting. I was going to say, oh, Darnold's already off the board. Okay. When did he go? I didn't even notice that. Oh, Sam Darnold went up here at 89. Wow, okay. That's why I didn't notice it, because I've never seen him go at 89. First time for everything. Yeah, I'm inclined. I mean, Shuck plays Atlanta, and this is a really good price on Shuck. Works out well with the buys. I'm going to go ahead and take the falling value here on Shuck. Let's grab him, and we'll scoop up those 11 picks of ADP value. We're done, and we've kind of set up a 1v1 here with Shuck and Pitts. We don't need the stack. If we want the stack, it would be a Juwan Johnson, and we're right in that range here. So I'm going to go ahead and earmark Juwan Johnson as a potential click here on this build. Jonah Coleman, I haven't been clicking a bunch of him, but he's kind of right in that range. Looking down the board a little bit. I guess if you wanted to pull up Alvin Kamara, not something I've been doing, but he's kind of in that area. But we're done at quarterback now. I think we did a good job of attacking this quarterback position. We got every quarterback at value, 87 versus 80 for Dak, 111 versus 108 for Bo, and 135 versus 124 for Shuck. We have 3 running backs in the top 63 with Saquon, Bucky, and Price. And then I feel like we're doing very well here in this wide receiver room. Lamb, Higgins, Waddle, Reed, Stribling. And then we have Pitts. Pitts sets up the 1v1 with the falling Shuck. Plus, we're in a range to potentially get Juwan Johnson. Not sure if you guys heard the news today on, what's his name? Tyson. Tyson is out with a hamstring injury. They don't know how serious it's going to be. He's going to miss some time, quote unquote, according to Adam Schefter. But we're building bangers over here, folks. What up, Hartman? Good to see you in here, buddy. We're going to start this afternoon best ball stream off with a Puppy 3. Then we're going to move over into the BBM streets. We're already at 2,400 projected points here, and we're only into the 13th round, so we must be doing something right. I'm targeting Jawan here. These guys both have 3 tight ends, so I think we might get them. Tyson misses. Tyson's going to miss some time with the injury, the hamstring injury. Let's grab Jawan Johnson right here. It makes way too much sense to grab Jawan. Jawan stacked up with Shuck, who we got at a 11 pick fall, and then we have the bring back here with Kyle Pitts. This range, I'm kind of looking at Coleman. I think we can afford him here. I also wouldn't mind, you guys know I wouldn't mind Trey Tucker, and he is on the cover. It's not necessarily a reason to take him, but I do think I like him. Tucker or, I mean, triple by week 10. So maybe I will take Trey Tucker here. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, that's true. I know. You're right. You said, Harmon says the projected points are usually pretty high with 3 QBs that early. That's fair. Totally fair. I get it. I do still think we're building a banger here. We'll recap this team for the audience. We're sitting on a 3-3-6-2, slightly unusual build structure at this point in the draft, but it's looking pretty good. We have Dak, Bo, and Shuck. Running backs, Barkley, Buckley, and Price. Wide receivers, CeeDee Lamb, T. Higgins, Jalen Waddle, Jaden Reed, Stribling, and Trey Tucker. And then tight ends, Kyle Pitts and Jawan Johnson. So we have the Bo Waddle stack. We have the Dak Lamb stack. And we have the Shuck Jawan Johnson stack with the Pitts bringback. And then no other bringbacks in the other 2 stacks. But a lot of spiky profiles here in this wide receiver room. Lamb, Higgins, Waddle, Reed, Stribling, Tucker. Feel really good about our first 4. And then Stribling for some of the hype. Feel like this was a reasonable place to click them. Plus we had the, kind of set up the 1v1 here with Saquon. And then Trey's just Trey. Now here's where I want to grab another running back, maybe even double tap the running backs in this range. I also think Ferg is interesting as like a final tight end here. Stop with Ferg, and we get a little pairing for that Tampa Bay Rams game, week 17. I think that would be kind of fun. We could also just consolidate into Seattle, an offense I like this year, where we have Price, but I do like the idea of grabbing 1 or 2. Like if we could get Samson, that would be pretty cool. I like Pat Bryant back here. Kind of build out that stack we have. It's kind of the way I'm leaning. Oh, and I do like Lloyd as well. So I mean Lloyd, Samson, Bryant, and then possibly address tight end. Hartman asks, am I interested in either of the new contests today or not? I heard there was a Bulldog, I think it was. I haven't looked at the advancement structure or the payout yet. Saw some comments online that were kind of, a little lower on that. So I'm not sure. I guess some people were kind of teasing it. So I don't know. I have to look at it. Lloyd would have been good there because I had the bet on Green Bay here, but he goes. So we're gonna grab Samson. I don't want to. This guy does have 6. Don't really want to risk it because there's 2 tight ends we could take there, or and this guy is 5. So I don't know. I didn't really want to risk that. I'm kind of fine with any of these 3 clicks here. I think I would probably lean into Pat Bryant first because I have the stack, but not opposed to Ferg or Barner, depending on what these guys do here. Barner goes, and then this guy needs a tight end as well. Boxer and Frenchie. I haven't been doing the Frenchies all year. I think I was going to probably be into one. It'd probably be the Boxer, but I want to look at the structure. Maybe we can do that here after this. Hoping this guy doesn't take my Pat Bryant. That would be my preferred click here. He goes Dulcich. So why don't we go Bryant? Makes a lot of sense on this build. We get the double stack. Pat Bryant, Jalen Waddle, stacked up with Bo Nix. No bringbacks with New England, but that's fine. Dylan Sampson, we kind of caught him there. Lloyd would have been good. You know, if Lloyd was there, maybe I double tap the running backs, but he goes slightly before that. I'll want to add one or two more running backs to kind of just top this off. What are we at? We're at 16. So we either go running back, wide receiver, or sorry, running back, tight end. I guess we could go wide receiver, but I feel pretty good about these 7. We have the anchor up top with Lamb, T in the 3rd round, Waddle in the 4th. So when I'm starting off usually like that, 3 in the first 4 rounds, I'm generally done at 7. Not to say that I won't add an 8th, but when I have that top level talent, you know, 3 in the first 4, I'm usually pretty good at stopping at 7. Although we didn't come back for a while. But let's see what's in the running back room, and let's see what's in the tight end room. I do like Braylon Allen. This is kind of like a put up or shut up year for him. Still a really young player. I think I was calling it an ACL earlier, but I think it was an MCL actually. Strain. Didn't have a good year last year. Connor could get traded, so maybe we click him. Man, it's thin back here for sure. Emmett Johnson, although I haven't heard a ton of good buzz on him yet. Justice Hill. And then tight ends. Where are we at on tight ends? I'm going to go Connor. I think I want Connor. I think he could potentially get traded. Let's grab Connor. And then do we want a 6th or do we want another tight end? And let's grab my... Ooh, we could grab Raritan. Raritan would be kind of a fun sneaky bring back with our Broncos double stack. Mayer goes anyways. Mayer was kind of the one I was thinking about getting. Now I don't have any Arizona. Oh, I guess I do have the Arizona piece now, but I'm thinking of him more as a trade candidate. Let's go Raritan. It's kind of like a sneaky low ownership click here. Been getting a little bit of buzz in camp. We'll grab him and then we'll review the team. So ends up as a 3-5-7-3. Dak Prescott, Bo Nix, Tyler Shuck, Saquon Barkley, Bucky Irving, Jadarian Price, Dylan Sampson, and James Conner. Wide receiver, CeeDee Lamb, T. Higgins, Jalen Waddle, Jaden Reed, Stribling, Trey Tucker, and Pat Bryant. Tight ends, Kyle Pitts, Jawan Johnson, and Eli Raritan. So what's our correlation and our stacking? We have Dak Prescott to CeeDee Lamb, no Giants bringbacks. Although let's look at the other weeks. We do have Rams. We actually didn't get into the Rams game at all, or Jacksonville for that matter. So really just week 17 here for our Dallas stack. Broncos, we have Bo Nix stacked up with Jalen Waddle and Pat Bryant. And then we have the low ownership Eli Raritan bring back here as our third tight end. Broncos also play, where is it? Broncos play the Raiders. So we have the Trey Tucker piece. Nothing with Buffalo. We do have Trey Tucker for week 15. And then we have Tyler Shuck stacked up with Juwan Johnson. We now have the injury to Tyson, so maybe this is a little bump for Juwan Johnson. And then we have the bring back with Kyle Pitts there in Atlanta. And then what else does Shuck offer us for championship week correlation? Tampa, so we have Bucky. And then we have Connor, maybe not. That's a trade candidate. And then I said Pitts. So there is, right now there's correlation across all 3 weeks with the Shuck stack, but I was mostly focused on the Pitts piece for week 17. But I think that's kind of nice. We did get him on a fall here at 135. Came back and got Juwan and then and had Pitts earlier, but we got the 2v1 game stack there for New Orleans, Atlanta. And then we have the 1v1 here with Barkley and Stribling for week 17. That's pretty much it. I'm sure there's some other pieces in there. But yeah, overall, I feel good about this. This is a good build structure, 3-5-7-3. I think we built it correctly. If we look at the roster construction. What's up, Fantasy Dog One? Appreciate you stopping by the channel. If you guys haven't already done so, hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed, now's a good time to do so. Smash that subscribe button. Help us grow the channel. Let's do a quick review of the roster construction. So the guy to our left was doing some goofy stuff, as was the guy to his left, who did who pulled up Sam Darnold at 89. This guy did the old Josh Allen in the first round. I think thought he was in his home league or something. But maybe this works. I'm not gonna hate on it. I actually appreciate it. So we go Lamb, Barkley, and then we go Higgins, Waddle. So 3 wide receivers in the first 4. It's basically like a hero build. We get Bucky on the fall to 58, and we take Price here at 63. So 3 running backs in the first, 63, 0, 3, 3, 0. We grab Reed at 82, push Dak around the turn here and get him at 87 to stack up with Lamb. So we get that single stack with Dak and Lamb. Grab Pitts here at 106. Bo, we push him around the turn here too and get him at 111. Stack him up with Waddle. I do take a Stribling share here. He did look pretty good in preseason. I haven't been clicking him. This is time boxed. We grab Shuck on the fall, and then he comes back and we stack him up with Juwan Johnson, and we have that Atlanta piece here for the 2v1 game stack week 17. Trey Tucker, because this is the Trey Tucker channel, and we always take Trey Tucker. Dylan Sampson. Oh, and he was on the thumbnail, so I felt obligated to take him. Sampson at 178. I was actually hoping for Lloyd, and then I was going to maybe take Sampson on the way back, but we get Sampson here at 178. Bryant to create the double stack. Connor at 202. And then Eli Raritan to create a game stack out of that Broncos New England game, week 17. He's kind of, maybe he turns into like a red zone threat. Kind of thinking of him as like in like the weeklies, right? If we're doing like DFS, maybe he's just a guy you need week 17, some touchdown equity. I don't expect a lot from him on this build from like a season long perspective, but as an 18th round click where I have a double stack for the Broncos, I think he's kind of a nice little cheap piece here. So yeah, when it's all said and done, 3-5-7-3, I feel like this is a good one to have in the puppy portfolio. We'll sync it down real quick, see what BBMDB wants to tell us. And then we're going to head over there to those those BBM streets here in just a minute. Let's see. What does BBM think of this? All right, so it's still sim, so sim pending. We'll see what it says. Give that a minute. We'll take a look. But while we wait, why don't we head on over there to BBM, and we're going to get into a Best Ball Mania draft here. Enter the lobby. Do you want to let you guys know that this episode is sponsored by Fantasy Fitness? So if are you guys ready to dominate your fantasy football leagues and your health? If so, you need to check out Fantasy Fitness. Fantasy Fitness has all the latest fantasy news from 5 different news sources, player and team metrics, and you can integrate your rosters if you're playing on Sleeper, FFPC, or Yahoo. As for your personal health, you get to create individual fitness profiles, track your diet and exercise habits, and send fitness challenges to your friends and family, along with getting your own individual AI personal trainer. So if you're ready, head on over there to Fantasy Fitness and check it out. Plans start at $4 a month. www.fantasyfitness.io. All right, with that out of the way, let's do a quick refresh here. See how we did there. Sim still pending. We'll give it a minute. And we're waiting for 5 here. So we're in the BBM streets. See how this one goes. We warmed up with the puppy. And hoping for a good BBM build here on this Friday afternoon. Happy Friday to everybody. Hopefully you guys had a good week. Got some things planned for the weekend. It's cooling down here in Colorado. We've been in like a month-long heat. What do you call it? I'm drawing a blank on the word, but we've just had high heat, high 90s for like the last month. And we're finally breaking that. We're down in the mid 80s. So be getting outside this weekend. Waiting for 4. Waiting for 3. Yeah, that actually popped off. So any event, we'll come over here. We're going to stay focused. BBM is there's a lot at stake in BBM. Top level prize, $2 million. Everybody knows that. $1 million to second. So we're crowning 2 millionaires with this tournament. And the advancement structure is 2 out of 12. Then it gets harder. 1 out of 14. 1 out of 12. You make it through that cut down. 667 seat final with a chance at the $2 million. We're at 62.4 on the fill rate. Oh, let's check out that. All right, let's make this click. And then we will, I'll try to take out, let me just duplicate this real quick. We'll take a look at that structure. Heat wave. Yes, thank you, Fantasy Dog. I was drawing a blank on it. Yeah, we've been in like a month-long heat wave, and it's fine. The wave is finally broke. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at that real quick. Let's take NFL. Where is it? Frenchie. Oh, the boxer. Here we go. Let me make this click real quick. I'm a little overweight on CMC. I think I may just click St. Brown on this one. I want to get my St. Brown exposure up. So more of a portfolio click here. Underweight St. Brown, overweight McCaffrey. So we're going to go St. Brown on this BBM today. But the 4 out of 12. So I like that just to start. What's the entry fee? $18. 2 out of 5 and 2 out of 4. 416 final, so pretty big. And when do you start making money? So 416. So you make it to the finals. You make $50. And how many entries do you get? 3 entries. So basically you got to make it to the finals with one of those teams. I mean, it seems reasonable. I don't, I wish the finals was a little bit smaller, pretty big. How many entrants? 6240. Yeah, I think it's reasonable. I don't think I like it as much as the Pitbull, because the top level prize is what, like 20,000. So yeah, maybe I'll do one of those if I have time after this. Actually, something else to do. All right, so we start this BBM off with Amon-Ra St. Brown again. This was a portfolio pick more than anything. I have a good amount of CMC in BBM, and I think I'm slightly underweight St. Brown, and I don't want to be underweight St. Brown in this tournament. And I'm overweight on Taylor as well. So it's just kind of been my board location. Henry would be super fun. I think Chase would be a lot of fun. Little lighter on Hampton, but I don't know if I want to go 0 RB. We'll see what this guy chooses to do. Of course, he takes Henry. Do I want to take Hampton here? I guess I will. Little lighter on Hampton, but we'll grab him here. It's fine. Not my preferred pick, but at pick 19, I think that, I pulled up Brown and got Hampton. Normally Brown's going over here and you're getting Hampton, so there's nothing unique about this. I could have gone Bowers there. He was definitely on the table. I was also thinking AJ Brown, possibly. But we'll go Hampton on this one. And hopefully he just falls into the end zone 15 times. And I know one thing for sure about Hampton. He is the goal line back. I don't see either of the other two guys taking that. Monty Vidal's like 5'8". Keaton Mitchell, he's a smaller guy. Maybe he's, he gets like a toss or something and he gets some goal line work, but he's not running it up the middle. So not my favorite click, but at pick 19, maybe that gives us access to some other players that people weren't getting in the first 50% of these drafts. Again, not the St. Brown Hampton start, but because I'm on the left side of the board versus being on the right side of the board where people were doing St. Brown Hampton builds in the first 50% of BBM. That's kind of how I'm kind of looking at it here. Now, Jeremiah Love would be just like a steal here. If he goes, then it's kind of between Trey McBride and Zay for me. It's one of these top three. All right. Yeah, we're going Jeremiah Love for sure. At this spot, middle of the third, BBM, I just have to do that. I have to do that. So we're going St. Brown, Hampton, Love on this one. I'm using St. Brown as my anchor wide receiver and then taking some stabs on some younger running backs here. Hampton, who had the disappointing rookie year, but I'm counting on as a goal line back on a good offense who's going to fall into the end zone 15 times. And then Jeremiah Love, who's just a supremely gifted prospect athlete who I want for week 17. I like the Trey Tucker pieces. I like the Michael Mayer pieces in the back. I like Marv. So, consolidating a little bit into that game, I think it's useful for that. And then just this price, mid-third for a top 3 draft piece, draft prospect, excuse me. That's pretty easy. Now we'll see what comes back to us. I would prefer one of these wide receivers versus anybody else, but I don't know that they'll make it back. This guy has no wide receivers, so he's certainly inclined to take Tet there. Shoot. Let's go. Man, Jacobs, this is a good price on Jacobs too. I guess we'll go Jacobs, and we're going to go 3 early here. And we're going to probably stop at these 3 for a while. Again, we're going anchor wide receiver. And this is a pretty good price on Jacobs. I could have went McLaurin there, but with the anchor and St. Brown, I think it's fine to stop at these 3. And maybe Jacobs is good pairing with these guys because we know he's going to have a pretty good role early on in the season, assuming there's no suspensions. And then, I think we can stop too for a while with these 3. Hartman asks, am I a Jonathan Brooks guy? How high can you legally take him now? I took him at 79 in a puppy earlier today. I haven't taken him that high in a pit bull, or a BBM, sorry, pit bull, a BBM. But I think right in that like 80-ish, 79, 80, kind of right there is kind of as high as I'm willing to go. I mean, the drum beat's getting louder. So Brooks at 62, I'm out. I'm out at 62. High 7, I guess low 70s is how you say it. Like back, like I said, 78, 79, 80, in that range. I'm in. All right, we're going to take Mike Evans here. He falls back to us at 54. I'm not going to mess around there. This is BBM. We're getting him at 54, and we're already a little behind at wide receiver. So let's go over this team real quick. We have Amon-Ra St. Brown. Then we go 3 running backs here. We go Hampton, Love, because we get him at 30, and then Jacobs at 43, and then come back and get Mike Evans at 54. Feeling pretty good about this so far. We'll see what's in our range back here. Don't really see the running backs or the quarterbacks as anything I'm interested in this range. I think Marv, obviously with our bet on Arizona, would make some sense here. We'll see if any of these guys up top fall to us. I mean, if Warren falls back, obviously I'd be interested in him. He goes. Don't really want Tyson. BTJ's fine. He goes. So yeah, we're going to grab Marv here. I think it makes a lot of sense on this, the way that this build is constructed. And we're at a 0-3-3-0. No quarterbacks, running backs, Hampton, Love, and Jacobs. Wide receivers, St. Brown, Evans, and Marv. Again, if you're coming in late, you're watching a BBM here on the Fantasy Fitness Network. We just wrapped up a puppy, and now we're in the BBM streets. Wasn't expecting to see Love here, so was happy to click him at 30. Jacobs, I mean, I could have went scat there, but ETN, I guess. I don't know. It's fine. I think that's a fine click. Now here, if the elites come back to us, Drake May or Hurts, we have the 1v1 with Evans. I'd be interested in that. Otherwise, I'm probably looking at Kraft or Reed. Those are kind of the guys that are standing out to me. It's probably going to be one of these guys. Now I'm Drake May over Jalen Hurts, and we'll find a way to stack him up. And if we don't stack him up, I'm fine not stacking him up. He ends up going. So yeah, let's go Hurts. I think this is a good price on Hurts. Actually, I'm going to switch it up and go Reed. I want more Jaden Reed in BBM. And because they have Purdy and Goff as potential stacks here. I figure I would consolidate into this Green Bay bet. Normally, I'm not passing on Hurts there, but I do have a lot of Hurts in BBM. I don't know what the number is exactly. And I have other stacking partners here. So it was just the idea that I could get Purdy and Goff and Love, kind of where I am on the board. I'm just going to play this one a little bit different. Now, maybe you guys will shake your heads at that one, but I think I'm okay with that on this particular build. Been taking a lot of Hurts in BBM. Want to mix it up a little bit. And I don't have enough Jaden Reed. I feel like he was on one of the BBM winning teams with Fareed. I think that was BBM 4, if I remember right. And he played a major role. He's back. He's healthy. So here, what do I want to do on this one? Ooh, this is tricky. Let's go. Yeah, let's go. It's either Godwin or Addison. Let's go Godwin on this one. Could have went Herbert. I guess Herbert at 92. That's a good price. I mean, I don't have any stacking partners outside of Hampton. Hampton does catch passes, but it's not like a specialty of his. Kind of gunning for this Purdy stack. I hope I get it. If not, we do still have the outs with Goff and Jordan Love. I was kind of hoping for Laporta there, but he did get pulled up, or he got pulled up to 86. So I'll take the fall on Godwin here. And then I'm targeting Brock Purdy. I'm hoping we get Brock Purdy back here. Now, if Purdy goes, we could get into Bannon. That would be an option. Trying to think of how else I would want to play this. This board's a little tricky. I mean, I guess we could grab like Dobbins. We could grab the falling Chuba. I do like Dobbins. And at 102, I'd be in. Do I have anybody that wants to steal my Purdy? Damn you. This guy takes Purdy. Unstacked. Okay. Well, what do I want to do here? I am going to just pull up Jared Goff. I'm just going to pull him up. I have St. Brown. I'm going to pull up Jared Goff. We're going to make sure we get a quarterback on this team. I don't know. I could get boxed out if I don't do this. I don't want to get 3 late. I wouldn't, I can get the double here with Love. He's got a good bye week. I've got the double. So I'm just going to grab him there, and then we'll see what comes back to us. But it was a little tricky. I think Fannin would have been good there as well, but I'm thinking of double tapping quarterbacks here in this range. So I'll have a chance at Baker. I'll have a chance at Jordan Love. And that gets me 2. And then I'm not necessarily doing like 3 late quarterback, because it could get into a situation where I end up in like a late quarterback build. So normally I'm not pulling Goff up to 102, but on this particular build, once I passed on Herbert at 92 there, and Purdy goes at 98, I kind of felt like I was in a little bit of a pickle there. So this is how I'm going to work myself out of it. And I like either Baker or Jordan Love here. Jordan would be the preference because I have the double with Jacobs and Reed. And you also get Baker falling back sometimes. Now we are getting this fall on... Ah, you dog. Okay. Why? What do you have? You're just playing games, huh? Okay. All right. We're going Baker Mayfield here. and that's just what we're going to do. Maybe we'll get some guys falling back. I'm not really sure. It was just interesting. I don't know why this guy decided to take Jordan Love completely unstacked there with literally nothing. But, you know, I guess to each their own. I was not expecting that, but this is BBM. You sort of have to expect the unexpected to some extent. Pretty funky. This guy does get Kittle, so, you know, I understand that more, and I could see how he was setting that up. This one doesn't make sense to me, but it is what it is. Now here, I like Chris Rodriguez. We don't have our first tight end yet either, so getting a little behind at tight end. We'll be okay. We can backstack Otten, plus we have Ferg back there for that game. So I'm not too worried about tight end yet. This could just be a late tight end build. All right, let's go. I think I want Debo. I want Debo. Yeah, let's grab Debo here. Kind of just gonna play into that San Francisco game. We'll take Evans and Debo. And then maybe we get Goddard here. We can possibly clip the back of that tier. If not, then I don't know. We'll have to see. BBMs never go the way you want them to go. That's for sure. Always some craziness in the BBM space. Let's review the team though real quick. 2-3-6-0. We have Jared Goff and Baker Mayfield, Hampton, Love, and Jacobs. Wide receivers, St. Brown, Mike Evans, Marvin Harrison, Jaden Reed, Chris Godwin, and Debo Samuel. So real strong here in this wide receiver room. I feel good about that. Running backs, Hampton, Love, and Jacobs. Not great, but not terrible. And then, you know, good, but not great quarterbacks here. We'll just have to see what we want to do with this next piece. I might take... We could get Woody Marks here. We could go Sam Darnold. Tyler Shuck is falling. He keeps falling. 138. We're going to take that value on Shuck. At this point, we're just going to take the value. 139 in BBM. I'm going to scoop that. We're going to be in that range to possibly get Jawan. This will turn out to be like a late tight end build if it works out this way. But yeah, I mean, we're basically gunning for Jawan at this point to get a stack with Shuck. And then we could grab like Otten and T-Ferg, something like that for our 3 tight ends. I'm assuming, you know, all this is going to kind of clear itself out. So let's see. 1, 1, 1, 2, 1. I don't know. These tight ends are going to go too. Jawan's probably going to be gone, and we're going to be stacking him up with like Vele or something crazy. Or we just take him naked. It's fine. At 139, I think you take that value. I don't really want Algier because I have that backfield. I would be okay with Tank Bigsby here. Or Coleman. Preference is Jawan here. Does this guy have a reason to take him other than to just spoil my day? No, he doesn't. Okay. We're going to get Jawan. And we get that stack. With the Tyson news, I think this is good. I don't know how long Tyson's going to be out, but if you haven't heard, Jordan Tyson's got the hamstring issue. Now, as far as running backs go, I do want to get back into the running back space here soon. Coleman and Spears, I think, are good candidates to add to this team just because, well, Spears, I think, has a more clear role than Coleman, so I'll put him up at the top. I don't have anything in that game, per se, but who are they playing, by the way? Let me take a quick look. Pittsburgh, but who else are they playing? Raiders and Indianapolis. Okay. That's fine. I don't really want Lloyd. Lloyd goes anyways. Jaden Blue is a candidate here. And then I was like Samson as well. Let's see. Okay, let's go Spears. I think Spears probably makes the most sense on this particular build. I don't have any pieces of Denver, and his role still is a little undefined. I'd be okay with it, but I think Spears, he's the clear 2, I think, to Pollard right now. Then we get into this tight end range. I like Schultz. In this little pocket, I like Schultz. Otherwise, I want to reach down and grab Ferguson for the piece with Baker and Godwin. He would be like the bring back. And then we could always grab Otten too, a little bit further down. Ferguson goes, okay, that's fine. Schultz makes sense too, because we have the 2 pieces of Green Bay. So if we can get Schultz back, that would be a decent consolation prize. And then I like Wicks here, because we built out that San Francisco game. Wicks goes, okay. They're dropping like flies, folks. It's either Schultz. If Schultz goes, yeah, let's grab Schultz. Double by week 8, but I'm going to add either Michael Mayer or Otten, so I'm not worried about that. We get him at a good price here, 174. We have the 2 pieces in that Green Bay game. So kind of building out week 17 here. Juwan Johnson, Dalton Schultz, and then I think Cade Otten is the prime candidate for our stack with Baker there, double stack. Now we have Samson here. I think if we added him as a 5th, we also have Brian Robinson. I think he's fine. And we also could get Sean Tucker on this one and kind of build out that game. We could go Baker to Tucker to Godwin. Yeah, this room's been pretty wild for sure. Jordan Tyson on this one went, let's see. He goes here at 68, so he didn't even really fall in this one. Not sure if people are paying attention to the news. I think I'm going to go Cade. Yeah, let's go Cade Otten on this one so I can secure the double. And he's by week 10. Got the stack here with Baker. And then we'll either take Sean Tucker or Brian Robinson. I need to get another, one more wide receiver too. But we went St. Brown, Evans, Marv, Reed, Godwin, and Samuel. I mean, we had 5 by 91, 6 by 126. So, and you could even probably stop at 6 on this, but I'll probably go to 7. Just looking at other pieces. I mean, if we wanted Emmett Johnson just as like a late flyer, we could do that. There's not a lot else out here, so probably be one of these 3. And I mean, there's Ted Hurst here as well, but then we're getting into like a mega stack. I don't really do mega stacks so much in DBM, although it's on the table. Jeremy Bernard, he had a nice game yesterday in preseason. He might be just like a nice late click here. Set up the 1v1 with where are we at? I need to get a oh shoot. How do we just get there? Good Lord. Sean Tucker goes. All right, so at that point, I'm just gonna grab Jeremy Bernard and we're gonna set up kind of like a rookie upside swing here. In Bernard, we have the Spears piece, and I do want a rookie wide receiver. So he's going to be our rookie wide receiver on this build. And then what are we going to do with this last click? We're done at tight end. Jawan, Schultz, Otten, late tight end build. I guess theoretically you could have a 4th. St. Brown, Evans, Marv, Reed, Godwin, Samuel, and Jeremy Bernard. I think that's fine. We have Hampton, Love, Jacobs, and Spears. That's light, but, you know, so we're going to add a 5th, but I don't... Did Mike Washington go? I think I would like Mike Washington if he's still here. No, he went. I guess Emmett Johnson makes some sense. Kalen Black, not participating in Thursday's contests. Thigh, okay. Kalen Black, he's also on the table here. Emmett Johnson, Braylon Allen. Oh, James Conner too, but he just went. Kind of targeting Emmett Johnson on this one for whatever reason. Braylon Allen, who does the Jets play? He's kind of in a put up or shut up kind of space. Okay, Arizona week 15. I mean, we do have the Marv piece. And I think his role is probably better. Week 13. Let's go Braylon. I think he's probably a slightly better click than Emmett Johnson. And if anything happens to Brees, obviously he has all the contingent upside. I'm looking here at week 15, which is the hardest week to get out of. That's your 1 out of 14 week. So if something happens to Brees Hall and that week Braylon Allen is the starter, well, then we have Braylon Allen on one side, and then we have Jeremiah Love and Marv on the other side. So I'm just kind of, it's really just like contingent upside plus a week 15 stab if anything happens to Brees Hall. So we'll review this team. It was a very funky build. Passed up on some value, did some weird things, but just the way it kind of worked itself out. I think we did okay when it was all said and done. But man, BBMs are so funky. Let's review the team, then we'll look at the roster construction, and then I'll hit up the chat. And then I'll see if I have time for one more, or if I'm going to drop off here. But we end up with a 3-5-7-3, drafting from the 6 hole. We have Jared Goff, Baker Mayfield, and Tyler Shuck. Shuck's probably the guy we have with the most rushing upside here. And then we have 2 quarterbacks on elite offenses. high pass volume offenses, I probably should say. Running backs, Hampton, Love, Jacobs. Gonna rely heavily on Jacobs and Spears to some extent until these guys get going. Hopefully Hampton comes out, right out of the gate and starts falling in the end zone. Love, we'll have to see what his touch volume looks like as he kind of gets ramped up. I think these 4 can get it done, and it's not the most ideal, but I think it can be enough. And then Braylon, maybe he comes back and he does something here. Hasn't shown a whole lot thus far in his NFL career, but maybe there's something there. But he could play a vital role in our week 15 advancement out of that 1 out of 14. Wide receivers, we have St. Brown, Mike Evans, Marv, Jaden Reed, Chris Godwin, Deebo Samuel, and then we're taking a swing here on the rookie, Jeremy Bernard, and he's in a 1v1 week 17 with Tajay Spears. And then we go Jawan for the stack with the falling Shuck. We have Schultz here in the 2v1 with Reed and Josh Jacobs for week 17. And then we have the stack here with Baker, Kate Otten, Chris Godwin. So, a little late here on the tight ends, but I think we can make it work. Decent build, not my favorite, but good enough. Kind of interesting how we did it, though. We went St. Brown at 6. Hampton fell to us at 19. Love fell to us at 30. And Jacobs fell to us at 43. And Evans fell to us at 54. So, really, we reached on St. Brown a couple of clicks, but then everybody else was a faller. And then we get Marv kind of consolidating there into that Arizona team. Reed, this is where it got kind of interesting, where I passed on Hurts for Reed. That's mostly a portfolio bet. Don't have a lot of Reed, have a lot of Hurts, trying to mix things up a little bit. And I thought I was setting up the Love stack with the double Green Bay pieces. We'll get to that in a second. Godwin falls to us here at 91. Goff for the stack with St. Brown. And then Mayfield for the stack there with Godwin. Samuel at 126. We could have went Stribling there if we wanted to kind of buy into some of the rookie hype. I think I'm still taking Deebo over Stribling, but I guess you could make the case there for Stribs. We did go Tyler Shuck here at 139 on a fall, and then come back and get Johnson at 150 for the stack. We get Spears at 163. Schultz for the bring back in those Green Bay pieces, on for the stack. Bernard for the rookie upside, and then we finished it up with Braylon Allen at 211 for some contingent upside if anything happens to Breece Hall, and week 15 with Arizona. So that's the build for you guys. Hartman asks, any interest in Saints pieces like Vele, Lance Brown with the skinny Shuck stack with Tyson out? Vele for sure. I don't know much about Lance or Brown. I haven't really looked into those guys, but Vele, yeah, I would have been okay with Vele. I guess I could have clicked him here. He didn't go in this draft. So, yeah, Vele I would have been okay with. I felt, if I wasn't light at running back there, I probably would have been good clicking Vele for the double. But that's going to do it for this BBM. I'll sync it down real quick. And while we wait for that to come in, I am going to go ahead and see if we got a grade on our puppy. Okay, so that puppy we did, it gave us a C right at baseline, 16.7, 16.6. Didn't love it, didn't hate it. Kind of right there, neutral. It liked this first spot, which usually it does. That's another thing I'm noticing as I've looked at these more. If you're in the 1 or 2 hole and you're getting Gibbs or Bijan, it tends to favor those builds quite a bit more. We're way over here. We get the 16. So anyways, feeling decent about these builds, but not in love with them. BBM again is always kind of challenging. So, we'll see, but definitely not one I hate. I don't have a lot of Spears. I don't have a lot of Reed. So getting some guys I don't normally get. I think you got to do that sometimes in BBM. And this fall here on Evans was pretty nice at 54. So all in all, pretty decent build. Now I'm gonna check real quick. I'm gonna put you guys on break for just a minute. I'm gonna see if I have time for one more. I'll check with my wife and see what the kids are doing, and then I'm either gonna come back and continue this with some more puppy builds, or I'll jump into that new boxer and we'll continue this stream. Give me just a minute here, folks. I'll be right back. All right, guys, be right back. Let's see. All right, I've got time for another one. So why don't we check out this new tournament that Hartman was talking about earlier, the boxer. I'm gonna head over there and do a boxer. Let's get that one in the books. $18 entry fee, small field tournament here. 6,240 entrants. $18. 4 out of 12. 2 out of 5. 2 out of 4. So really strong advancement structure here. And you have basically, now you don't even have to make it to the finals to get your money back. You just have to finish in the top 832. Okay, so you have to finish in the top third basically to get your money back. I don't know how that works out in terms of this advancement. Like if that's, you got to make it to the second round or third round, I'd have to sit down and do the math, but 20,000 to first, not a huge tournament, but something fun to do. So why not do it, right? Got the time. Let's knock one out. And then I'll sync down that BBM and we'll see what BBMDB says about that build. I don't feel overly confident about it, but like I've said before, the teams I think that stink, sometimes it gives me a good grade, and the teams I like a lot, sometimes I get an F on. So I really don't know what his sims are doing. I don't know the complexity of his sims. We'll have to just see. All right, Hartman says you got to make it to week 16 for your money back. It's half of the finals and a 50% advancement rate round. Okay. Yeah, this one feels pretty good. All right, while we wait, and if this does take a while, then I'm just going to go over to a puppy 3. Let's pull up that. I'll just pull this up real quick and see if we got any news on our builds. Okay. Yeah, see, like ones I don't feel great about, the sims feel good about. I don't know why this one graded out well. This one gets an A in BBMDB, 37.8. So the guy in first here gets the S, 46.4 advancement rate. They like this team, I guess, number 2 in the list. 37.8 is what they gave us in terms of our advancement probabilities, which is like basically the second team. So maybe we get there, maybe we don't. Again, I don't put a ton of weight into these. It's more kind of interesting than anything else. Like I did this BBM yesterday, I think it was. I don't know if I did it on stream or not. That one got an F, like a flat out F, 3.1% advancement rate. This one gets a 37.8. So you just really never know. I don't know the depth of those sims. So we'll hang out in here for a couple minutes. If we're able to get this to fill, we'll do this boxer. If not, just for the sake of not boring you guys, we'll move over to a puppy 3 and do a puppy 3. So there's that. I did do that. I did add the AI insights here to fantasy fitness. So on every player, when you go to the players list, you pull up a particular player. I did run this yesterday, and I was supposed to look at it for what was it? It was the guy we were looking at was Jeremiah Love. Where's he at? I never gave us the results of that. So we'll just look at it real quick. So when I ran the AI insights on Jeremiah Love, it gave him an overall grade of A. It said he's an explosive RB1 with an elite rushing upside and moderate receiving floor. The things that I liked about him was, he's got a strong rushing grade. His speed and elusiveness grades are strong, both 10, make him a big play threat. And as Cardinals RB1, he has a clear path to significant touches. I don't have a good opportunity grade on him yet. It's only at 6 because I can't really predict his touch volume. So right now the system is grading him out with a 6.0, which is basically the lowest opportunity grade you can get. That's obviously not accurate. It's just, I don't have a prediction yet on his touch volume with him and Algier. Arizona's recent rushing grade is 31st in the league. So that just suggests like a weak rushing game environment. That was also based on last year's coaching staff. That could obviously change. And then his hands grade is just average. It ultimately boils down to this. He's a buy, elite talent with an RB1 role, offers strong upside, especially if the Cardinals rushing attack improves. So the 28 just isn't really that accurate. And that's based heavily on the fact that I can't predict his opportunity touch volume yet. That's lowering this score, which feeds into the team score, and the team score feeds into the overall score. So just something there to keep in mind. I wanted to follow up on that. I was listening to parts of the stream and I realized I never answered some questions there, and I was just kind of closing the loop on that. So anyways, that's the AI Insights tool. And then the other thing that we have here, sorry, going back to the players, I'll just grab Bijan. You have the compare tool. So you can grab 2 players or 3 players like Christian McCaffrey or C-Rod. And then I'm just grabbing a couple guys here. You can compare up to 5 players at a time. It will give you kind of their overall rank. It will give you their talent score, their team score, up to this point, what their rushing attempts per game has been, what their rushing yards per game have been, rushing touchdowns, receiving yards, athletic profile, team environment scores. And so you can kind of look at all those different things if you want to compare players either in the same position group or across position groups. Something to keep in mind here with every profile. You get the option to compare those players across different compared players against one another. This does look to be filling. We're down to 4, so we're waiting on 4 people. I think I'm going to just hold tight here for a minute, and then we will jump into this boxer. So if you guys want to draft this boxer, let's do it together. Let's battle. I'm down. I'm always down to battle my homies. Waiting on 3. Again, this is the boxer, the one that just got released today. $18 entry. Waiting on 1. It's already 10% filled. I guess being that there's only 6,240 entrants, it's going to fill quickly. Yeah, it was a little. Oh, okay. And I see DMH09 at the 1 hole. So, and Fantasy Dog Pound is in here at the 108. I don't know if he's streaming right now. He might be. But we've got some heavy hitters in here. Hartman is at the 101. I'm at the 102. So we're going to be battling a little bit here on the left side of the board. And we have Fantasy Dog Pound at the 108 on the other side of the board. Anybody else is in here, let me know. This thing is going to fire up in 20 seconds. And, it's all love here because we can get 4 out of this first pod. So me and Hartman and Fantasy Dog Pound, we can all make it out. Let's make a day of it here, folks. Hartman's gonna go with Bijan, is what he told me. No, I'm just kidding. He goes with Gibbs. I'm gonna take Bijan, and then we're gonna see it. It doesn't get interesting until like the 3rd, 4th round. That's when the battle's gonna really start, and we're gonna have to outsmart each other for these middle rounds. Or we can play nice. I'm always down to play nice with my friends in here. Get 4 out. So let's all build some bangers. Standard start here, as you see, 95% of the time. Gibbs, Bijan, Chase, Puka, McCaffrey at 5. And yeah, should be a good time. Let's see what Fantasy Dog Pound decides to do. Hartman says, I've got control. He's locked down. I mean, he is pinned against the corner, so that's true. I have slight amount of board position on him, but we'll see. I don't want to steal a CJ Stroud like I did in that draft we did on his stream. Felt a little bad about that, but I was setting it up, to be clear, for a while with Monty and Higgins. And I did have board position, and I used it to my advantage. But we'll see. We'll see what happens here. So in this first round, after McCaffrey goes at 5, we have JSN at 6, Brown at 7, Taylor at 8, Cook at 9, Lamb and Jefferson back-to-back here at 10 and 11. And then Jordy Nels 79, 89 picking here at the turn. Let's see what he decides to do. Does he go with the classic Gen T Barkley start? Probably. He's really thinking about it. Or he's autoing, which is interesting. Okay, he does the Genty Barkley 1-2 turn. And now we're into the second. I would be, obviously, if Brown or Bowers is there, I probably take the fall on those guys. Maybe because this is time boxed, we pull up Neighbors third, and then it's like Pickens, Nico. I don't know. Drake, I could do the Drake, Bijan, Atlanta thing too. Not opposed to that. If you're coming in late, you are watching a boxer draft. We did a puppy 3, followed that up with a BBM, and now we're getting into the boxer streets. Wow, Jeremiah Love. That makes me feel even better about my pick 30 Jeremiah Love and BBM in the last draft. I think I'm probably taking Neighbors in this tournament, time box. Yeah, let's go. Let's go Neighbors. And then we'll kind of take it from there. Okay, he goes Smith. He leaves me Pickens for the week 17 game stack. I appreciate that, Hartman. So it's Bijan, Neighbors, and Pickens. And Hartman goes Gibbs, Collins, and Smith. I think we've got 2 awesome heroes going right here. We'll see what Fantasy Dog Pound does over here. We'll keep an eye on him since we're all in his Discord. So he's got Taylor, and then he grabs Brown at 17. Now, Love in BBM, I was here at the 6th spot, and I got Love over here at pick 30 in the last one. He goes at pick 20 in this one. So, Jeremiah Love's one of those players where he can go, middle of the second up to middle of the third. And when I see him in the middle of the third, especially in BBM, I'm slamming him there. Kind of early running back here, or anchor, I guess you could say anchor wide receiver with AJ Brown. I don't know if he's anchor certified. He probably is. But Taylor, Brown, Kyron for Fantasy Dog Pound. And now we're starting this 4th round, picking at 47 and again at 50. Hartman will be on the clock at 48 and 49. And let's just kind of peek our heads out here and see what range we're going to be in. We're going to be in that Monty range. I do love Montgomery, Colston, Loveland. Cooled off a little bit on Burden with some of the injury news. I'm kind of waiting for him to go into the 5th round now. Scat, if he gets to me, would make quite a bit of sense because I could do the whole New York Giants, Dallas Cowboys week 17 thing. That would set me up for like Jackson Dart. Scat, I'd put him at the top. Damn it, he goes. Probably, yeah, Loveland goes. Damn it. Bucky over Monty is interesting. Not saying it's a bad click. It's just kind of interesting. That's not something I'm normally doing. Burden's got to be a 5th rounder for me now. I'm going to go David Montgomery. Now, If I had Gibbs, I might have gone Swift there because I've got like the 1v1, but since I don't, I'm just going to take the guy with the higher volume. Now here I'm kind of like JMO or Terry or Adams. I guess you could go 2 and 2. I'm going to mix it up. I don't take a ton of JMO on this particular one. I'm going to grab JMO. Just generally a little lighter on him, but I don't know, kind of a feel thing. I think Terry was probably the better click there, you could argue, but maybe with Diggs, you can feel it cooling off a little bit. Hartman says, I'm setting up to snipe him on Stroud again. You know, that may be the case. We'll have to see if Higgins is around. I won't do it unless I get Higgins. But then again, I could set up the Monty Higgins, and then you could end up taking Stroud, and then I've got an unstacked double. It's not a double at that point, so we'll see. We'll see. I could just pull up Dak here at 71 and set him up with Pickens. So we'll have to see how this plays out. Let's recap a couple teams here. We're going to look at Hartman's team as we go. We'll look at my team, and we'll also keep an eye on Fantasy Dog Pound. So I've got a 0-2-3-0. So does Hartman. And I've got to beat Hartman on this one too on BBM Rivals. I was looking over here at this new feature. We'll pull this up real quick before we do the review. Hartman's, he's got me in the Rivals category, and I don't like this. So I've got some unfinished business to take care of in this build. So in this new Rivals tab, you can look at guys that you're drafting against and see how look at your advancement rate versus theirs. And if we look at Hartman, we haven't done a ton together, but DMH09, I'm at 2.2. He's at 2.5. And I didn't like this when I saw it. So now I've got a little bit of unfinished business to do. I want this green to be moving over here to the left side. And so I'm glad we're in a draft together. I've got a chance to get my numbers up. Hartman, just saying. But let's review the teams real quick. He's got Gibbs and Swift at running back, and then he's got Nico, Smith, and Evans. He's setting up San Francisco and Philly. I've got Bijan and Monty. Nothing there, but just my 2 running backs. And then I've set up Neighbors and Pickens, week 17. I've got JMO here as well. So both of us are on 0-2-3-0s. And then Fantasy Dog Pound goes Taylor and Kyron, Brown, Tet, Moore, and he gets May at 65. Hartman says he's going to build a sim-friendly team just for that now. Okay. See, now if I would have taken McLaurin here, maybe not, but, maybe you get Daniels. I'm probably still taking Daniels anyways if he falls to 71. There's just nothing else here that I like. Yeah, I have no reason to take Hurts. He's got the piece. We're going to play nice. Let's grab Daniels here. And I don't know if he likes Hurts or not. We'll see if he takes him. He does. Now, this is kind of the area where I'll take like a Pollard or a Warren. And I'm starting to, I don't know, I'm kind of feeling Jaden Reed a little bit. I don't know. I've always liked Jaden Reed. He's always been explosive. He doesn't have the torn labrum this year. But let's grab Pollard. I think he's a nice third, and we got some divisional correlation here. If it's not Pollard, it's kind of Reed and Kraft. It's kind of where I'm at on these, and I still feel like this is a little early for Kraft. I probably am Reed there if I'm not Pollard. So, anyways, rivalry build continues. He gets the stack here. Hurts and Smith with the Evans bring back. Grabs Ramadre. I like that a lot. we've got the same build going here, 033 or 1330, excuse me. And then over here, Fantasy Dog Pound. I don't know if he thought Ramadre was coming back to 80, but that's not going to happen. Not with the sharps in this room. He probably wasn't thinking that, but you know, if it was there, I'm sure he would have taken it. All right, so we'll be starting the 8th round here. I'm picking at 95 and 98. Hartman's at 96 and 97. Got to win this sim. I don't even care if this team advances. I just want to win the sim. That's all I care about. I'm joking, of course. Now, feeling good about these 3. Normally when I get something like this and I'm like 3 at 74, I kind of cool off on running back unless there's like a screaming value. Start to focus on wide receiver, tight end on this particular build. Now, Dart does make some sense. If I want that piece on this build, I could have pulled up Dak instead of Pollard. That would have been another way to kind of play this. Would have been like double stack Daniels and Dak. But I don't know. That's early for Dak, 74 for a guy that doesn't. Then again, I mean, you could argue this is early for Caleb. He doesn't really run the ball that much either. And he's a much less accurate quarterback. I don't know. Like, what's the difference between Caleb Williams and Dak Prescott? If we come over here to the player volatility index, let's go back to Fantasy Fitness and look at this quadrant tool that I built. Let's just take a quick look. We go player volatility. We'll go quarterback. And here's Caleb. So he averaged 19.36 with a high of 39. Dak Prescott is right here. He's 20.7 with a high of 38. So he's actually further to the right from a season-long average. This is within the last 3 years. If we just pull it down to 1 year, I mean, Caleb was right here. So 38.7 was his high. Let me get back over here so I don't miss my pick. Let's see. I think I would prefer Addison if he makes it. Yes, he makes it. So I'm going to go Jordan Addison here. And then I'll probably take Dart on the way back, I think. Do I want Dart or do I want Kyler? I mean, they're both kind of sucking a bit in camp. Where's Kyler? Kyler at 119. That's going to be hard to get. Maybe I do just take... No, I could take Diggs too. This is time box. Yeah, let's take Diggs because I have the Daniels piece. And then I'm going to hope that I get a fall on Kyler. He throws it out at the last minute. Yeah, I did put it in consider. I did think about it like last minute. So we did get the Diggs Daniel stack. That leaves open Stroud. The Stroud snipe. I see you didn't take. Did you have a chance at Purdy? Where did Purdy go off? Purdy's still not off the board. Okay, so you didn't want Purdy at 97 to stack up with Evans to kind of go full game stack both sides. That makes sense. But yeah, let's look at where Dak was last. So Dak's over here. So we didn't have quite this. These two are like right on top of each other. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get it. It's like right there. Oh yeah, so Dak averaged 19 last year with a 30-point game, whereas Caleb was up here. So they're averaging the same on a points per game basis, but Caleb had the much higher spike week, single game spike week last year at 38.7. So I guess that's probably why he's priced. Then he's obviously a lot younger in an ascending offense in Chicago. So that's fair. We'll see if I think I want Kyler. Dart does end up going. Thought he might make it back. I'm kind of gunning now for the Kyler Murray, Jordan Addison stack. He does sometimes get back here, so it was a little riskier of a play. But there's going to be other ways to build this out if I don't get that. Could maybe get like Wendell if he falls back. Trying to think of other like stacking quarterbacks here. I might have to pull up Shuck. I'll have to pull up Shuck. But I wanted to risk it for the Diggs Daniel stack. And then if he's gone, then I guess my other out is to take Tyler Shuck. And then I would backstack him maybe. And I have the Atlanta piece here. So I'd still be in on a game stack there. The Kyler person's going to obviously be taking him unstacked, which is understandable because he has the rushing upside. But we'll see if people choose to do that or not. Guess it's this guy I'm kind of worried about because he has, yeah, so Kyler does go. It's fine. Oh, shoot, and Shuck goes. So that did not pay off. Let's go Higgins. I got to take him now. So DHM09 doesn't try to set up a double on me or something. Take my incentives away. I mean, now I could take Baker here and backstack him and go try to get like Baker and Shuck. I don't know. I'm kind of torn. I could also take Cam Ward if he comes back. Okay, he takes Mayfield. So now I'm kind of thinking I'm going to grab Kincaid. I like Kincaid here. Let's take Kincaid. It's not really for a game or anything. I just like Kincaid. Need a tight end. Could have gone Likely, but then I'm like kind of overstacking without the quarterback with Neighbors and Kincaid. It does get me into that, more into that game, but let's just go. This is really just a, player I like on the board. Thought about Concepcion there, but I like Boston as well. Yeah, that's once I took Higgins there, that was probably a good way to play it. I'm going to try to get a little bit more light here. I'm in the dark. I can't even see my face. Trying to get a little bit more light in here. Yeah, no, obviously there's no guarantees that Stroud's coming back. I thought about maybe even pulling up Shaheed there because that could have set up like Sam Darnold. But yeah, that was kind of the other way I thought about playing it, was through like it would have been a Shaheed pull-up, but that was another option. But after these two clicks here for us, I'll recap our teams, and then we'll kind of see how this is playing out. Now, Chig is also a candidate here. See, did Stroud just go? Yeah, see, Stroud went. So, I mean, this guy ruined both of our plans. There you go. Now, Malik Willis, if he makes it back, we have Stribling here. Boston, Sam, Ward. Ward had one of those, like, plays yesterday in that San Francisco game that just makes you shake your head, where he was, like, kind of falling back in the pocket and then just totally got spun around by a defender, threw the ball kind of into the ground. I mean, he still does some things that make me wonder how good he is. But, yeah. Stroud. I mean, I might just take Malik Willis if he makes it back here. He goes at pick 139. Boston goes. Now, even though I don't have anything yet for Seattle, I do like, I mean, in a vacuum, I do like Darnold more than Stroud. No, we're not even sure Stroud is good, too. I mean, Hartman does say, are we even sure that Stroud is good? I don't think we are sure. I guess I'll take Chig here for this. No, I don't want that because it's double bye week 7s. I guess the expectation is I get a third. I guess I'll grab Ward here because I do have the piece with Pollard. And then I could, I guess, grab Chig. Or I grab... Okay, he gets the McMillan piece. That's sharp. I don't know that I want to roll with these two, and I don't have any other real, like, backstacking options. I guess I could get into, like, Geno. Shoot. When all else fails, grab Trey Tucker. Yeah, I only did that. Yeah, I know. I'm kind of regretting not pulling up Shaheed, where I took Higgins here at 119. I had it in the back of my mind. I was going to take Shaheed because I thought that could happen. And if this was Darnold over Ward, I'd feel like 10 times better. But I screwed that up. And now I'm going to be getting into like Geno or something and playing into this like Minnesota Jets game. Not ideal. Not really happy how this is kind of turning out. I think that's the pick I'm regretting the most. Is not taking Shaheed right here. Now he made it all the way back to 128. Well, not even all the way back because that's just a wraparound here. I think that's the pick I'm going to be most upset about on this one. Should have went Shaheed there, and then I would have Darnold, and I'd be feeling a lot better right now. Yeah, Ward over my boy Darnold was that is a pretty colossal mistake. Now I'm forced into a Jets stack probably here. Unless I wanted to go Rodgers. I guess I could go Mendoza. I do have Tucker. I could get, maybe I get Algier. Did Algier go? Yeah, Algier's already off the board, so yeah, not good. Not good stuff here. All right, I did say I was going to recap those teams. Let's do that real quick. So 2, 3, 7, 1, Bijan, Monty, and Pollard, Neighbors, Pickens, Williams, Addison, Diggs, Higgins, and Trey Tucker. I'm done at wide receiver. Kincaid as the tight end, and then quarterbacks are Daniels and Ward. And then Hartman has Gibbs, Swift, Stevenson, and Dobbins. He's kicking my ass at running back. Nico, Smith, Evans, Pittman, Dobbs. He also got the back stack here with Baker Mayfield and McMillan. Whoops, shoot, I hit the wrong button. His tight ends are Strange. He's got Strange as his tight end, so one tight end. So feeling pretty good there. And then he's got Hurts and Mayfield. So yeah, I think I'm getting my ass kicked is what this boils down to. I wasn't really trying to do that. It was just I had inside position and I thought Stroud would get back to me. But let's go. All right, let's go. I guess I'm going to go Schultz. Or do I go blue? Let's go blue. Let's go blue. Super early for blue. And then I think I'm going to try to get Mitchell. I assume you might try to grab like Wicks or something like that. Is Gino already off? Jeez, Gino's gone. Okay. And I'm going to have to go Mendoza here. I'm going to take, I guess I'll take Schultz. He grabbed Schultz. Okay. Yeah, now I'm getting smoked on this corner. All right, we're going to go Mitchell. What am I doing here? I don't even need another wide receiver. I'm getting way off track. I'm not building this correctly. I need Mendoza. He's going to be my saving grace. I guess I have Brissett too, just as a click. Potentially. Yeah, I blew up this build. I'm on tilt. Guys. I was looking for that pairing. Okay, so that's what it was. He took double week 10 bye at QB and needed to get off of that. That makes sense. I didn't need Mitchell though. I didn't need 8. Dude, Harmon put me in a blender. It's true. The rivalry continues because I'm gonna have to come back and redeem myself on another day. We'll see. I'm overly strong at wide receiver. I'm under strong at tight end. I'm under strong at quarterback and running back. Yeah, this was a master class by Hartman. Masterclass. And I had inside position and he still put me in a blender. Okay, I'm hoping for Mendoza. If Mendoza goes, I'm gonna go Brissett. That's just like a 1v1. I need that, and then I'm gonna end it with, but I'm light at running back. I may have to end this with 4 running backs, or it's gonna be like Darnold and Mayer, which sounds super weak. Yeah, this is not ideal, folks. I didn't need Mitchell at all. I was stopping at 7 with Tucker. I got put in a blender. What can I say? I'm just going to leave this up so I can slowly recoup. I need to face reality head on. Now, Mike Washington kind of makes sense here. Of course, Fernando Mendoza goes. And Mike Washington goes. And Dylan Sampson goes. Okay. All right. I have no choice but to take Brissett. He's not going to take Brissett, though, first. So why don't I grab Gunnar Helm? At least that's a stack, double stack here with Ward. I don't think he's going to go for... No, he doesn't. Okay. And then I'll grab Brissett here. He's unstacked, but he's a... Yes, I guess it's a 1v1 here with Trey Tucker. It's ugly. And now I have to either come out of here light at tight end, or I grab like a Michael Mayer type, or I have to grab, in order to grab like a 5th running back. I think I'm just going to have to kind of see what's left there for me. And the only one that really kind of makes sense, I guess, would be like, well, Nicholas Singleton doesn't make sense. I mean, Braylon, I've already taken him today. Guess I could take him again. Could grab like a low ownership, kind of like Damon Claiborne piece or something like that. In the tight end room, we're looking at Michael Mayer, kind of the only guy that kind of makes sense if I want to stay in that game. I guess a Theo Johnson. Holy smokes. It all came back to that Rashid Shaheed pick, man. If I would have just taken Shaheed here at 119, I get Darnold, and I'm feeling much better about this build. Doesn't happen. We'll just get these picks in, and then we'll recap the team. And we'll look at Hartman's team, and we'll look at the dog fantasy dog pounds team as well. I think this can work though. I mean, we have the elite in Daniels, then we go Ward and Brissett. It's not sexy, but I think we can get there. We might just have to go. I think we need help more in the tight end room than we do running backs. We just need these guys to stay healthy. I don't know. I'm leaning Michael Mayer at this point. But he could also go. He's been getting a little bit more steam. I've seen him go, I think, in multiple drafts today in the 18th round. Where's that Mendoza guy? He's that I'm worried about. Where did Mendoza take him? Okay, Mendoza's over here. He went with Jack Besh, actually. This guy got double elites. He's got Bowers. He's not going to take him. And Dog Pound's taking a 0 at QB week 11. Okay. Oh, and the Darren Waller click. All right, let's go Michael Mayer. We're going to be light at wide receiver or running back on this one. Just the way it's going to play out. 3-4-8-3. I ended up getting one more wide receiver than I needed on this build. All right, let's review the team. We end up with a 3-4-8-3. I don't know if you guys can hear that thunder and lightning, but yeah, it's storming over here where I am. Jaden Daniels, Cam Ward, Jacoby Brissett. Should have been Jaden Daniels, Sam Darnold, Jacoby Brissett. But it is what it is. We have Bijan, Monty, and Pollard. So I think we have 3 up top, and then we're just kind of hoping that Jaden Blue has a role here. It's certainly light at running back, but that's just from the mistake I made. Probably overly strong here at wide receiver. Neighbors, Pickens, Williams, Addison, Diggs, Higgins, Tucker, Mitchell. I mean, it's a great room, but I just think there's too much there. And then tight end, Kincaid, Helm, and Mayer. So we have Daniels stacked up with Diggs, no Jacksonville pieces. We have Cam Ward stacked up with Pollard and Gunnar Helm, no Pittsburgh pieces. And then we have Jacoby Myers in unstacked in a 2v1 with Tucker and Michael Mayer, week 17. We have a 2v1 in that Giants Dallas game, Pickens and Blue, and then Neighbors as the bring back. And then I have a 1v1 here with Mitchell and Addison. And then we kind of consolidated a little bit into that Houston offense with Monty and Higgins, but we didn't get the stack. So there's that. So not my favorite team. I think we salvaged it maybe a little bit, but not the build I wanted to put together. Let's look at Hartman. Oh, while we do that, we're going to sink down because me and Hartman are battling here. Hartman goes, ooh, wow. This is a killer team. He's got 3-5-7-3. Jalen Hurts, Baker Mayfield, and Geno Smith. Super solid here. He's got the rushing upside, high pass volume in these two offenses. Plenty of points coming out of the QB room. Gibbs, Swift. That's also a 1v1 for week 17. He's got the starting running back here on the New England Patriots. He's got another 1v1 at least. We'll see. He's got other pieces, but he's got week 17 pieces. And then he's got Braylon at the very end. He's got Nico, Smith, Evans, Pittman, Dobbs, Jalen McMillan, and Ted Hurst for that back stack that he did with Baker. And then he goes late tight end here. Brenton Strange, Dalton Schultz, and Pat Fryermuth. Stacks in correlation. He's got Hurts to Smith with the Evans bring back. Am I missing anything else? No, Hurts to Smith with the Evans bring back. Baker to Jalen and Ted Hurst, the rookie upside here in Hurst, who's been tearing up in camp. And they are playing, I forget who they're playing. Who is Tampa playing? Oh, they're playing the Rams. No Rams pieces, but a nice team stack there. Well executed back stack. And then he has Gino with Braylon. Just needed that, needed to get off of that double by week 10. So he grabbed Gino there and gets a little RB QB stack here with Braylon at the end. And then he's into that New England Broncos game. So he's got Ramadre and Rome with the Dobbins bring back. Consolidates a little bit into Houston here with Nico and Schultz, and then Pittman and Fryermuth tightens up those bets. Damn, he whooped my ass. All right, we move on to Fantasy Dog Pound. That's a good team. That's a really good team. He goes 3-5-8-2. Drake, May, Sam Darnold, and he gets that Shaheed stack. And then he gets Kirk Cousins here. He's hoping Kirk Cousins is still the starter for bye week 11, I guess, for that bye, or he just wants the raw points. Probably not expecting that. Running backs, he has Taylor, Kyron, Mason, Tracy, and Ray Davis. He's got AJ Brown, Tet, DJ Moore, Cortland Sutton, Wendell Robinson, Shaheed, Trey Harris, and Tyquan Thornton. And then he's got Sam Laporta and AJ Barner. So he kind of catches that elite tier with Laporta and then stops at 2 with AJ Barner. He got the stack. So stacks here are May to AJ Brown. Yeah, May to AJ Brown single stack with the Cortland Sutton bring back. He's got Sam Darnold to Shaheed and Barner, and then he's got the Tet bring back, and then he's got he grabs Kirk Cousins at the very end, and he's hoping he's the starter, I guess, week 11. Otherwise, he's got a little, 1v1 here with Tyquan Thornton and Trey Harris. Trey Harris. Trying to see if there's anything else. No Jets, Minnesota, no Tampa pieces. So I think that's it in terms of like stacking and correlation, but solid build. Other than he I don't know if he saw this or he took it knowingly. I guess he probably did because he got the fall on Sam Darnold here at 152 and then just came up with the Kirk Cousins piece. So don't know how quickly the rivalry updates. Not even sure I want to do this, but we're going to do it anyways. Okay, well, they give me the A, and they give Hartman the A too. So they liked all three of these teams at the top. 59, 62, and 48. I don't know what that does for the rivalry tab, but we're going to look anyways, just to see if we've had any updates. Did it move closer, further away? Oh, 2.9 to 3.1. I don't remember what it was before, but Hartman still has me. So we've got to get into some more battles here. we're rivals, and Hartman's got the edge as of right now. So is what it is. Real good builds though. I think we both built good teams. I personally like Hartman's team a lot more than mine. But if we go back to that team build, and we look at it, we both scored out pretty well. Both of us have pretty good advancement rates according to BBMDB Sims. Again, 59 for Hartman, 62.8 here. And then Fantasy Dog Pound, he's also sitting pretty good, 42.5 according to the Sims. So good builds. Good builds. We battled. We had a good time. That's mostly why we're here. We're here for the fun. So I actually have time for one more. I think I'm gonna do a puppy. My family left me, so I'm just gonna rip a puppy. I've got nothing else to do. I'm just chilling on this Friday afternoon. If I'm gonna draft anyways, I might as well stay on stream. So if you guys want to rip a puppy 3 with me, now's the time to do it. I'll save my other boxer. I guess I have 2 more boxers. I'll save those for later, but this one's filling fast. We're already at 65, and I think people are going to just slam this over the weekend now that the eliminator is closed. I want to try to get to 50, 75, somewhere in there. So I've got plenty to do. I'm going to go ahead and rip this puppy. And if you guys want to draft with me, you're welcome to hop in here. We're doing this in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I was maybe a second early there. Crap. And it's like an instant fill, so I don't know. Damn it. Nobody's in here with me. Shoot. Well, that sucks. I should have waited a half a second longer. This would have filled and we would have had people in, but I jacked that up. Crap. All right, well, this is going to start in a minute. I'm going to go grab some water. I'll be back in just a second, and then I'm going to rip this puppy. Maybe I'll rip 2 puppies. I don't know. Family's going to be back in an hour and 15 minutes, so I think I probably only have time for 1. Be right back. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. All right, let's look at the board. I guess I got the 101 and Otto Gibbs here. So this is puppy 3, fourth draft of the day. Puppy 3, BBM, Boxer, and now back to Puppy 3. So having a day here. I don't think I made up any ground on Hartman, though, in our rivalry scores, so I'm a little disappointed about that. I think we were 0.2 apart. We're still 0.2 apart, so not the results I was looking for. And we are going to be on the clock here at 24 and 25. Going Gibbs on this one. I just watched an epic masterclass by Hartman at the 101, so I might try to copy that build a little bit. That was good. And yes, very close on the scoring. Hartman says, "Damn, technically I won." I honestly don't feel that way, but you know, I guess according to his sims, you can say that. I think your build was a step above for sure. Much more balanced. All right, here we go. 24-25. This is a Puppy 3. No names in here. I kind of screwed up the countdown like a bonehead, but is what it is. Maybe Bowers falls back to the corner here. That would be... Whoa. Okay. Well, on this one, I definitely have to go Bowers. That is for sure. And then I have to decide if I want to go Neighbors or Brown. I think I got to take Brown too, just for the uniqueness of this. Yeah, we're going Gibbs, Brown, Bowers on this one, guys. Oh, okay. Let's go win a Puppy 3. Lock in. I got to get the black eye paint on. I need a lock in because I've got a start that I have not gotten since like pre-draft. This is crazy. Not pre-draft, to be fair. AJ Brown was going in the 3rd round before he signed with New England, even though we all knew he was probably going to sign with New England. But those prices have been gone for a long time. But this is a fire start. Yeah, I mean, Hartman says, great start. Yeah, I have to agree. I mean, purely from a uniqueness perspective, this is great. But then when you add in these profiles, AJ Brown and Brock Bowers paired up with Gibbs, like this has the potential to be a very, very good team if I don't find a way to screw this up. Now, I never draft these players together, so I'm gonna have to find a way to like, oh, man, okay, I don't want to screw this up. I think a safe thing to do would be to grab either of these running backs here. You know, I don't think you can necessarily go wrong there with those running backs. And then, you know, Evans is pretty safe on the corner here. I'm just thinking this through. Obviously, if one of these running backs ahead comes back, those are obviously in consideration. I'm assuming they'll be gone. But this room's already doing some wacky things. So if you're going to give me a Gibbs, Brown, Bowers start, yeah, I'm taking that every time. Now, Neighbors, obviously, I think would have been a fine click here in place of Brown, but from a uniqueness perspective, with 225,000 entrants in this tournament, I think you got to go Brown there. It's like a much more unique roster, and it's still a very good player. So it's not like you're doing it at the expense of like an inferior player. Appreciate you guys all stopping by the channel. We're just drafting away, man. Putting good builds together, stacking good builds, one after another. Trying to get into some of these finals. And we will see. We're 2 away. I mean, I don't see why these guys are not. Okay. It's getting even more unique at this point. All right, well, I want Scat. I think at this price, I think I want scat here over like the 1v1. Yeah, let's go scat. And then Burden, Addison, JMO. I think I'm going to go JMO. Or do I go Burden? Oh, shit. This is tough. Shoot. Let's go Burden. It's a little early, but it's early 5th. That was close. I go Burden. Does Burden have a better chance of being like an alpha than JMO? Probably. Because he's not dealing with Amon-Ra St. Brown. Although I think, you know, just consolidating into Detroit there would have been totally fine. I think the 1v1 is also making sense, and we're getting him on a little bit more of a fall. Again, I don't want to just chase all the falls either. Clearly, that was the thing to do at the 2-3 turn with Brown and Bowers. There, I think you could have gone either double Detroit, Gibbs, and JMO, or you go Burden Gibbs for the 1v1. I don't think you could really go wrong either way. I guess I could have also gone Swift, but then I'm really anchoring to Brown, and I'd rather not do that. I do want a wide receiver here. So Burden there. Now he is hurt, but supposed to be ready for week 1. You play for week 17. I think that's fine. Recap the team real quick. 0-2-2-1. We have Gibbs and Scat at running back. We have AJ Brown and Luther Burden at wide receiver, and then Brock Bowers here at tight end. It's certainly a unique start, and we've got Bowers, easily the best tight end in my mind in the NFL. Brown as a pretty solid anchor, and then Gibbs obviously as the 101. So feeling good about this team. Trying to think through what I want to do at this next click. I never get these guys on the same team, so I'm a little like, you know, it's a build I don't normally do. I think if Drake makes it back, I would go Drake and Ramadre and get the triple or the double and be done. I think that would be a fun way to play this. Marv, if he falls back, also, I just generally like Marv in this range. Otherwise, we're like pulling up like DK. Give me Drake May, please. Do me a favor. See if the room wants to play nice with Drake May. Getting the stack with Drake May and Brown with Gibbs, that would be insane. I'm not saying it's going to happen because all these guys need quarterbacks, so I'm holding my breath here. It's this guy. Oh, yes. Yes. Okay, we get Drake. Now I want to chill for a second here so I don't jack this up. Do I pull up Metcalf or do I take Warren? I know I want Drake May. That's undeniable, but Stevenson went, so I don't have that Stevenson option. Do I want Warren or DK? Let's go DK. Let's go DK. That's close. I don't know. I might regret that one. But I did get the Drake May Brown stack on a Gibbs team. So feeling pretty good about that. You know, it's questionable here whether you go DK or Warren. I guess being that I have Gibbs and he's like the best running back in the league practically, I felt okay pushing running back there, but you do get into a tricky situation, so I'm not sure. I don't know. Definitely questioning that one a little bit. I'm not going to sit there and think about it too much because I don't want to let it cloud my vision the rest of the way because I do like this build regardless. But yeah, we get Gibbs here at the 101. AJ Brown falls back here to 24, as does Bowers. So we get a very unique combo there. We even get a fall on Scatabo. We take Burden for the 1v1 here with Gibbs, and then we get Drake May back to stack up with Brown. And then it was really between Warren and Metcalf there. I end up going Metcalf. That is a little early for Metcalf. Whereas I think, you know, probably at least from an ADP perspective, it's probably a better click there for Warren. Now, who knows? Maybe Rico falls back. I'll snap that up if he's here. I like Corum. I like Manungai potentially. I don't know that I want to wait for another running back at the next turn because you're at like Gainwell, JCM, but those guys are always getting pulled up now. I don't see them getting back to... Yeah, they're not coming back to 120. So I feel like probably, unless it gets completely wiped out here at running back, I'll probably take a running back with one of these next two clicks. And then do you go like Dart? Do you take Addison maybe if he falls back? He goes... Okay. Hartman liked the DK pick over Warren. Yeah, I tend to agree. Now we're in this 96, 97 range too for Chuba. I think I'm taking Chuba. Yeah, I'm taking Chuba. I know he's hurt, but I don't want to wait another round because I just think I'm going to get boxed out. So I feel like I'm going to grab Chuba here. And then... do I just take Dart? I think I probably just take Dart. I have this piece, and he's a pass-catching running back. So it's... And you have the rushing upside of Dart. And I don't know how good he is at actual football, but he's a good... I think he's going to be good for fantasy. So let's review the team real quick. Yeah, Paulino's in here. What's up, Paulino? Good to see you, buddy. This is a 6 start. I would agree. Let's go over... We'll look at it real quick from the board view. So again, Gibbs at 101. Brown and Bowers fall back to the turn. As the scat, I get Burden for the 1v1 here with Gibbs. May comes back. I stack up May with Brown. And then I take Metcalf here. It was kind of middling between Metcalf and Warren. I ultimately end up going with Metcalf. I'm going to buy this dip on Hubbard now that he's around pick 100. I think Manungai would have made some sense there too because I have that. I'm in that game. But he goes... Corum would have probably been the preference here because I like him the most. Well, Dowdle, but let's leave him out of it because unlikely to come back to 96. And then I take Dart to stack up with the pass-catching running back, Scat. So ultimately, we're sitting on a 2-3-3-1 here with Bowers as our elite tight end. We've got Brown, Burden, and Metcalf. Gibbs, Scat, and Hubbard. And then May and Dart. Now, we could double up with Romeo. Obviously, if one of these running backs falls back to us, I'll probably click one of those guys. I'm just trying to think through what else makes sense on this build. I would like to probably grab... I like Dalton Kincaid a lot this year, so I would be okay with that click. Maybe a wide, and then one of these wide receivers. I'm assuming White's not going to be there. If White's there, maybe you go like White Romeo or White Jacoby. Or if you want to take a swing, like an upside swing on like a Concepcion, but I've been liking the Boston click a little bit more. Myers goes. Conception goes. Maybe we do get White back here. Okay, White goes. And then Higgins. I mean, this does kind of make sense to go for the double. And then grabbing Dalton Kincaid and stopping at 2. I also like that. Let's grab Romeo first. We could grab Kincaid and stop at 2. Otherwise, yeah, because I mean, if I'm going to grab a third quarterback, and I'm not even sure I will, but if I do, it'll be like Aaron Rodgers or Mendoza. Otherwise, I could pull up like a Debo or a C-Rod. But I'm going to go ahead and just grab Kincaid here. And I know people are going to say, take likely or something. But man, like likely over Dalton Kincaid, I can't get there. And everything doesn't have to be stacked and correlated. Sometimes you just take the better player. And so we're going to go with, we're going to go with Kincaid here. So 2-3-4-2, Drake May, Jackson Dart, running backs, Gibbs, Scat, and Hubbard, wide receivers, Brown, Burden, Metcalf, Dobbs, Bowers, and Kincaid at tight end. Back in this range, we need a fall on Boston if we can get it. Otherwise, I would be looking at, Tracy, no, because we have Scat on this one. Woody would make some sense. And Hartman agrees with me on the Kincaid pick. He says never likely over Kincaid. I agree with that. Obviously, I would take a C-Rod fall here if he comes back. I don't want Tracy because I have Scat. I'm not going to sort of double bet in the same backfield there. Woody's a fine click here. Just looking through this list. Denzel Boston, for sure. I like Travis Hunter. And then, of course, I would be pulling up the guys I always trust in, like Trey Tucker. Just looking at these other names here, there's just not... Coleman, but that's a big pull-up for Coleman, isn't it? Like 145. That feels pretty rich for Coleman. I guess you have Spears here, who's in our game with Metcalf. Trying to think this through. C-Rod's gone. They're going to drop like flies here. There goes Woody. We are on the bookend. We can't worry about pull-ups here because we're not getting guys back. And, the quarterbacks don't really make sense here. I'd rather grab a late Rodgers. I'm glad Tracy's gone. I think I want Spears. I know it's a little early for Spears. I guess Algier. Algier makes some sense. We go Algier or Spears. Maybe we do go Algier. And then let's go Algier and Trey Tucker. I don't feel like I'm missing out on a ton at the other positions. You could argue Hunter Henry because I have the stack, but I already chose to get off of Hunter Henry with Kincaid and think I'm stopping at 2. So Algier and it is the correlation 1v1, but it was either pull up Spears or take Algier. I like both those guys. I think you could argue either way. They're kind of in the same tier for me. And then Trey, because it's like I'm taking Trey probably over Travis Hunter. Maybe not if I had pieces of Jacksonville, but without pieces of Jacksonville or that game at all, I'll probably take in Trey Tucker there. Omar Cooper's been falling like a rock. Jalen's cool, but I don't really like him for this build in particular. So yeah, I feel fine with the ones I went with. Drake, May, Jackson Dart, Gibbs, Scat, Hubbard, Algier, Brown, Burden, Metcalf, Dobbs, Tucker, Bowers, Kincaid. We have 2 pieces of that game actually with Bowers and Tucker, and then we have the bring back with Algier. So that actually works out pretty well. Jaden Blue, because we have the Dallas Giants thing going. So I like him. I'm skipping on all these pieces here. Bryce, but I only have Hubbard, so I'm skipping on Bryce. I think I like the idea of Rodgers on this one if we wanted to grab Rodgers. Otherwise, I would probably potentially push and try to get Mendoza. His ADP is 187. I mean, we'd have to get a fall on him because we'd have to get him to come to 192 or 193. We don't really need a third. We got 2 in the top 100 with May and Dart, so I'm okay stopping there. I'd rather push quarterback and get other pieces. So I'm into like Pat Bryant for that game as a bring back. Let's take Rodgers off for now. Jaden Blue, Dylan Sampson, maybe running backs. Flournoy, Tesla. Oh man, Pat Bryant comes up to 165, as does Wicks. Okay. Thanks, guys. Thought I'd get one of those 2 back. I mean, I like just Trey Harris because he's Trey Harris. I don't know. I feel like he has second-year breakout upside. All right, Jaden Blue. I think he makes sense as a bring back since we went into that game. So we'll go Jaden Blue. And then it's like, do I go Flournoy and really build out that game? Or do I go Trey Harris? I think I'm going to go Flournoy. I like Flournoy. He spiked. I'll show you how he did on the player volatility index last year. Let's look at Flournoy. Ryan Flournoy. Where the hell is he? Okay, he's right here. So let's remove these badges. So Flournoy's right here, kind of, he's on the edge of the spikers category. Not good from a season long average, 9.5, but on a single game, he did have a 26.5 upside. He is tethered to Dak Prescott in a high pass volume offense. If anything happens to CeeDee Lamb or anything happens to Pickens, I think he immediately, probably moves up to like top 36 type of range if those guys are out. So I don't know. I could have gone Tesla. I guess you could take the fall on Cooper, but the buzz on him hasn't been that good. I mean, he might even be here when we get back. I guess if you go with him, then, you could stack up like Geno or something like that. But I'm gunning for Mendoza here to get with that double. Maybe he makes it back, maybe not, but that's the goal, is Mendoza. Rodgers is also, I would take either of those 2 guys, I would think. And then what picks is this? Is this, okay, 16 and 17. Feel pretty good at the running back position. Feel pretty good everywhere, actually. Tesla, because we are into that game with Detroit, and as a third, I'd be okay with that. I'm fine with Cooper at this price. I mean, at some point, you got to bet on a first-round rookie. But I do also like Bateman. Jeremy Bernard flashed a little bit. I know it was against like the 3s or whatever yesterday. There has been a little bit of buzz on Bernard. I think as like a late rookie upside. If we do get Rogers, then I would probably go Rogers Bernard. We'll see. And I guess I can always leave the door open for Brissett if we just don't like anything else. We are 6 away on this one. Trying not to screw this build up. I may have already done so, but feeling decent about it. I wanted Pat Bryant for those the bring back and just did not get any luck. He got pulled all the way up to 165. I mean, what can you do? Now I'm going to be faced with the decision. Maybe, maybe not. Hopefully these guys don't go back-to-back quarterbacks. Please don't. At least not my guys. All right. Okay, he makes the decision for me. He goes Mendoza. I will take Rogers because I just think he's good value here and I can stack him up with Metcalf. But he did take my Jeremy Bernard, that little punk. So do I go for the triple? Or do I just take like Bateman? Shit. What do I do here? Let's go Bateman. I want to get off. I don't know. That one was close. I've heard Booty might get traded. But I don't know. I was okay with that. I'm going to leave the door open here. Maybe I thought about Malachi Fields. That was kind of the other option there. I kind of froze a little bit. But we're kind of far back. I'm okay if I mess it up at this point. I think I've got the core in place. I didn't want to go like absolutely ham. I already had the double. I felt like if I go Booty and triple it out, that might just be a little too much. So end up getting Bateman. And my reasoning for that was if we look at championship weeks, I have the Pittsburgh stack in week 15 here. It's not BBM 1 out of 14, but it still is a more difficult. I think it's 1 out of 12, 1 out of 10. I mean, it's still hard. It's still the hardest week, you know, from a probabilistic perspective. So to have like Bateman as a bring back with my Pittsburgh pieces week 15, I think it's fine. I don't see Jacoby Lane on here anymore. I think I would go Malachi Fields as like a final click here. It feels like a good build. I mean, you have an elite plus a guy that's good at should score some fantasy points, even though I don't know how good he is at football. Stacked up with Scat, and then you have Rogers who fell back to 192. We were able to get him stacked up with Metcalf. I would have probably taken Jeremy Bernard there over Bateman, but Bernard was gone, so I go Bateman. I want Malachi Fields. If Fields goes, Caleb Douglas, he's not like correlated at all, I don't think. What's Miami doing here? But he is getting some buzz. He was listed as the 1. Denver, Jets, Kansas City. I didn't end up getting into any of those games. Oh, no, wait, Miami. Buffalo. I do have the piece with... I do have the piece. So I can either go Malachi Fields or Caleb Douglas. Maybe I just go... And I get the double if I go Caleb. Or if I go Malachi, I get the... Scat Malachi with the 2 pieces on the Cowboys. Maybe they make the decision for me and leave me 1. Or I just go with the 1v1 for week 17. Caleb Douglas. And I'll get one of the 2. We'll see if I get them both. Come on, make the decision for me. I don't want to have to do this. All right, shoot. I mean, Caleb Douglas is listed as a 1. I don't know. I think I want the Caleb Douglas piece. I get the 1v1 here. I'm not going to overstack. Let's go Douglas. It was close. Could have definitely argued for Malachi Fields there. I think this is a good build. I'm happy with it. Let's review it. When it's all said and done. you know, you're going to always second guess picks. So 3-5-8-2. I'll do this quick because then I can slam one more puppy before my family gets here. And then I'm going to call it a day. We go Drake May, Jackson Dart, Aaron Rodgers, Gibbs, Scat, Hubbard, Algier in blue, AJ Brown, Luther Burden, DK Metcalf, Romeo Dobbs, Trey Tucker, Flournoy, Bateman, and Caleb Douglas, and then Bowers and Kincaid. So we have May to Brown to Romeo, no Broncos pieces. We have the single stack, Dart to Scat. And then we have Rodgers to DK. And then no Tennessee pieces. We have Bowers and Trey Tucker with the Algier piece on the other side. And then we have Buffalo. We have 1v1 here with Kincaid and Douglas. We have Bateman for the week 16, week 15 piece with our Pittsburgh pieces. And then we have the 1v1 here with Burden and Gibbs. And we have a full game stack there with Dart and Scat with Blue and Flournoy bringback pieces. So 2v2 game stack. So yeah, I'm happy with this team. Hell yeah, let's go. Good start. I'm gonna do one more and then I'm gonna wrap this stream up. It's been more of a marathon, but when you're home alone, your family's out, this is what I do. So we're gonna continue on. One more puppy 3, counting it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're in. God dang, this thing feels quick. Waiting for 1. All right, we're in. Don't see any names in here. Let's see how that one graded out. I hope EBMDB likes that one. That one was fire. If it doesn't, then throw out the Sims. I don't even care. Okay, still waiting. Still waiting on that one. All right, appreciate you guys stopping by as always. We're going 5th draft of the day here. If you guys aren't already subscribed to the channel, now's a good time to do so. We are pumping out best ball streams like crazy. And they're not like dinky, crappy, builds. Like these are upper echelon builds in my opinion. Of course, I'm going to say that I'm the one doing it. Let me just have my fun in the sun. Mike Rob, appreciate that, man. Great stream. I love the feedback. I'm trying my best, man. I'm trying to do good builds for you guys. I'm trying to talk through my strategy, trying to go over why I'm getting to the conclusions I'm getting to. You go on some of these streams, and they don't bring this type of insight. Hartman does, obviously. Huhames does. We got some OGs out there that know what they're doing. I kind of think I know what I'm doing a little bit, kinda. But obviously I'm learning every day. All right, we're going CMC on this one. We'll grab Christian McCaffrey and do one more. It is possible that I'm gonna have to drop off midstream if my family comes over here before 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I'm hoping this one flies. But if it doesn't, then I'll have to just drop off in like the 16th, 17th round. But I mean, I slammed 5 different streams, 5 different builds, 3 puppies, a boxer, and a BBM. I mean, what else do you guys want from me? I'm glad I stuck around for that last one because I don't think I would have got a build like that if I didn't. That's a very unique build to get Bowers and A.J. Brown at the turn with Gibbs and get the fall on May to get the stack. I mean, those just don't come around all that often. So you got to take them when you can get them. All right, let's go Derrick Henry. Let's go with the old vets on this one. We're going to slam the probably two of the top 3 or 4 best running backs in the league. I know there's, we got to worry about age on this one. Got a couple older running backs, but this is a fun pairing. Let's see if we got our grade yet. Better get an S for that one. Better get an S, or I'll be pissed. All right, what do we want to do here? We can grab Derrick Henry and pair him up with Zay, and then we could try to get Lamar on the way back and get into like a heavier Ravens stack. I think that's an option, unless we get like a fall on one of these top guys. We could just go heavy Ravens here. If we get Zay coming back to us, no guarantees. I'd also be cool pulling up Higgins in order to pair him with Derrick Henry for week 17, because honestly, in my opinion, I think Higgins is a middle third pick anyways. So if you want to pull him up to 31, I see no issues with that. Now, if Zay's here, then I'm going to take Zay. But if Zay's not here, then my default will probably be T. Higgins. Yeah, I mean, Trey McBride should be gone by 31. If he's not, I still like, for this build in particular, I probably would skip on him. Okay, this guy pulls up Higgins. Don't do me dirty and take Higgins and Zay here. Okay, cool. All right, so we are going to get Zay, and we'll just consolidate into this. We're going to make this Baltimore bet. Baltimore's going to smash this year. And these are the 2 guys you need, along with hopefully the quarterback. Let's see. Wow, it didn't like it as much as I thought it would. It still comes out A, but it gives the S to the guy to our right here. He ends up with a 48.9 was a advancement probability for this guy, 42.8. I mean, that's fine. I still think it's a decent, of a base of 16, giving us an advancement rate of 42, plus you add in all the uniqueness that we got from that build. I'm entirely content with that. Entirely content with that. Now here, I would take a fall on either Tet or Wilson. Fine with either of those 2 guys. Could also pull up Loveland. For me, it's between these 3. Tet goes. I want to take Allen, but I kind of don't. Damn. I guess there's no guarantees I'm going to get Lamar back. Do I risk it? Allen at this price is pretty fire. Allen at 42 is hard to pass up, right? Yeah, let's do Allen. A bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. I can't guarantee I'm going to get the Ravens Lamar stack. If you're going to put Allen in my hand at 42, I'm probably going to do that. I don't want to say definitively I'm going to get Lamar at 55. Obviously, if I do, that's great. But if he's gone and then I pass up on Allen, I'm going to feel stupid. So I'm basically taking that. I'm taking Allen because he's there. Loveland went right after, so I think that guy had kind of the right idea. But, I could think of a game theory perspective where let's say Zay gets 2 touchdowns from Allen or from Lamar, and he gets like, let's say he gets 35 points and you know, it's two touchdowns or whatever from Lamar, but Allen outscores him by 5 points. And the guy you really needed was Allen and Zay, but it's not Lamar because Lamar throws another touchdown to somebody else, or Derrick Henry runs 2 touchdowns in. So even from a game perspective, a game theory perspective, I could see how this could work out just fine. Now Lamar's there, but I mean, I can't go double quarterback there. I think that's just too much. That's just too much. So let's go. It's either QJ or Bucky. Let's stay in the division and let's go Judkins here. I could have pulled up one of these wide receivers, but I don't know. I like that price on Judkins. We can totally chill now at running back, and we'll just go heavy. This will probably end up being like a 9, an 8 or a 9, depending on how I attack the wide receivers here in these rounds, like 6 through, I don't know, 14. You know, depending on what I come out of here with from a wide receiver perspective, this will either be an 8 or a 9. If I'm starting Zay as my hero, I'm probably at least 8, if not 9, unless I just go, you know, wide receivers straight for like the next 6 or 7. Then maybe you can get away stopping at 7, but without any of like the upper echelon guys, and then, you know, grabbing running back there, I think you probably have to attack this at like a 9 wide receiver build. I don't want to like get ahead of myself, but that's kind of what it feels like. I didn't see DJ Moore there. Maybe I missed it. If DJ Moore was there, yeah, Moore was already gone. Yeah, okay. Good. At least I didn't miss that. Shoot, dude. I mean, now Warren's here, or I pull up Marv. I mean, God. I feel like I have to take... This is a funky-ass build. But, I mean, Warren at 66. Now I'm, like, drafting with 0, and we're doing no structure. This is a no structure build. All right, so we're going Warren here at 66. We're going to be way behind at wide receiver. We might even be on a 10 wide receiver build on this one, based on how this is shaping up. But the value, I think, there was Warren, and then now we're going to really attack these wide receivers hard, like hard. Yeah, I don't know what else if there is to make of this. I guess this guy over here got an A too, and then was a bunch of C's, D's, and F's. So in the end, I think we scored out pretty well. Turned out to be a good, unique build. Maybe that one's at least a finals team. Would love to see it. I only need one to get into the finals, man. That's all I want. 1 Puppy 3 finals team. I'm not greedy over here, I promise. Reed is my target, as is, like, I guess Downs or Sutton. I'm out on Lemon here, although he would be like a 1v1 here with McCaffrey, but he's been falling into the 90s, so I'm not going to take him here if he falls back. He's on the menu, but he's not on the menu here. My preference is Jaden Reed. If he's gone, I probably lean Sutton over Downs, but it's close. Yeah, let's go Jaden Reed. I feel like that's a good click. It's going to be a funky-ass wide receiver room, but we're going to make it work. I have no doubt about that. Downs if he comes back. Otherwise, Alec Pierce, Jordan Addison. I mean, if I was like a slave to like the 1v1s and stuff, you probably go Downs there because you have Quinshon Judkins and Indiana's playing Cleveland week 17, Indianapolis, I should say. But I don't want to always be like a slave to the correlation. I personally just like read more. Sutton, I think, would be a treat, as would... I think from a health perspective, I like these guys more. If they're all gone, maybe you go... I don't know when this guy's going to play football. Making great progress. Okay, what's he slated to play? I need points right away on this team. I'm already behind the 8 ball. Okay, he goes anyways. So now it's between these two guys. I think Godwin offers just a little bit more floor and stability with how this build is playing out. I want to go Godwin on this one. If I was just going total spiker, I'd probably go Addison there, but we'll go Godwin. We already kind of have the Addison profile in Jaden Reed and Zay to some extent, you know, have those kind of spikier, more volatile profiles. So I'm looking for some maybe slight amount more stability here with Chris Godwin, since I'm already behind the 8 ball on this build. I'm hoping I'd be fine with Wilson falling back, Pittman. Those would be the preferences. I guess I could grab Xavier Worthy here. I'm not really in a position, you know, to be scooping like quarterbacks or running backs in this range. I mean, I guess you could take Dobbins here and stop at 4. Whoops, not Patrick, but Dobbins. If I were to take Dobbins, I probably would stop at 4. Oh, I already do have the correlation here with Cleveland and Warren. I didn't even see that. I forgot that I even had that. I also passed on... Oh man, they all went. God dang it. I could go Fannin here and be done at 2 tight ends. That works out. Otherwise, I grab like Xavier Worthy, or I pull up Wendell Robinson. Pulling Wendell Robinson up at 102 feels wild. Let's go Fannin, and I'm done at 2. We're getting into Indianapolis, Cleveland, week 17. Didn't think I'd be saying that on this channel, but we're building out a week 17 Indianapolis, Cleveland game here, folks. We're done at 2, Tyler Warren, Harold Fannin, and we're going to continue slamming wide receivers. I don't even think I can afford like Rashad White here. I think I just have to continue to tag up these wide receivers. I'm hoping for Wendell. I think he would be perfect for this team. If he's gone, I think these guys are fine consolation prizes. I don't think the Sims are going to like this team, though. I can promise you that. This one's probably going to grade out in F. But we are going to try anyways. Can we get this team through? I think so. It's just we got to play the volume game, because you're going 31, 79, and 90. That to me feels behind at wide receiver. But we're elite quarterback, double elite tight ends, elite at the running back position. So on this particular build, we're saying wide receivers are weakness. We're going to play through volume. We're going to play through massive spike week profiles. Let's get Wendell. I think he's the safest click here. He can spike, and he obviously offers a pretty good floor, because he might lead that team in targets. I thought about Concepcion, but maybe we get Boston back later. Okay, I'm assuming these guys will be gone. You know, this would have been a spot to get into Kincaid, but I didn't like the wide receivers when I had the option to get Fannin. So I went with Fannin. Otherwise, I probably would have done the Kincaid stack. It's not necessary, though, with Josh Allen. He can be completely unstacked. I think I want to continue to wait even a little bit longer on the running backs here. If we can get Coker. I mean, here's Shakir if we do want to get a stacking piece. Shaheed and Stribling. I mean, 127. Jacoby Myers feels pretty good if he makes it back. If not, I mean, Coker, Shakir, fine with both those guys. All right, let's go Jacoby. We get a nice fall on him. ADP of 114. We get him at 127. This wide receiver room actually doesn't look quite as bad as it did even just a few minutes ago. Now that may open up grabbing C-Rod here. Actually, if he falls back to us, we might be able to afford him. Boston. He's gone. What do we like? I mean, we could also do Woody Marks too and maybe stop at 4. But Shaheed and Boston, man, those sound pretty good. I don't know if I want to get 3 pieces of Cleveland though. I mean, you're basically betting Judkins, Bannon, and Boston. Those are the 3 pieces I do enjoy the most, though. Woody Marks would make some sense because we have the Green Bay piece, plus we need a running back. He's by week 8. Malik Willis, too, if we wanted to stop at 2, that's 1v1. Yeah, I did kind of forgot about quarterback, but then we have Daniel Jones back here. Shoot, do we just go Willis and be done? No, let's go Shaheed. And then I'm going to hope I get... Oh, no, I screwed myself there. I don't think we're going to get back those quarterbacks. Damn it. That's fine. I'll just play this late through like a Rodgers. No, I mean, that's 138. I think we could get back one of these quarterbacks, actually, now that I think about it. These guys, 2... No, it's going to be close. Yeah, I think the click there might have been Daniel Jones or Malik Willis. Now that I think about it. Otherwise, I guess we're going to have to play this through Bryce or Rodgers, Fernando, Gino. We'll see. Where are my Indianapolis pieces? They're over here to the right. Where is Downs? Where's Joshua Downs? I don't even see him. Must be over here. Hold on one second. All right, I need a fall for Daniel Jones. And this is the guy that's going to wreck it for me, unless he takes Stroud. Take Stroud, dude. Don't make me take an unstacked Stroud. Bastard. Well, at that point, I don't even necessarily care. I guess we'll go Stroud and we'll backstack him. Not the worst thing ever. Works out on the buys. I was hoping for Daniel Jones because I had the Tyler Warren piece. But such is life. All right. Now I probably should have taken Willis there. Hindsight, that would have been good because that's like 1v1-2 for week 17. Plus Willis has all the rushing upside. Stroud, I guess I've got the Green Bay piece here, so it's not a nothing burger. But I don't really need like Schultz on this build. I guess I could get into like a Jalen Knoll or something like that at the end. That feels a little tacky. Charbonnet. I'd be okay grabbing Charbonnet here. He falls back. If he's gone, at this point, I think Char might make sense before the... All right, screw it. We are just going to go Schultz. He's the best pick on the board here. Guess you have Travis Hunter, but I'm going to go Dalton Schultz. We'll just get stronger at tight end. And we will probably stop at 2 with Allen and Stroud. I do take the Schultz piece. And then we have the Green Bay bring back here with Reed. We'll probably come up here and tap. Well, we need to get one more running back, maybe 2. Ray Davis could make sense on this build. Get back into these wide receivers. Who do we like here? Trey Harris, certainly. Mitchell, fine. Looking for any correlation, potentially. Nothing really brewing on that front. I guess we could pull up Tank Dell. Not going to do that. If he falls back, maybe. We take Pacheco here. I know he's been a faller. I don't want Samson because I'm betting on Judkins on this one. So let's go Pacheco. We'd probably end this with like Pacheco and Ray Davis. Detroit plays who? Minnesota, Giants, and Chicago. I don't think I have any of those games, but that's fine. He's on a fall here, 12-pick fall. Isaiah Pacheco. We don't even really need him on this team because we have the 3 studs up top. So I think he's fine, though, to add. We could grab Tank Dell here and can continue our Stroud bet if he's there. We also have Ray Davis if we want to grab our 5th. Probably stopping at 2 with Stroud and Allen, although you could theoretically get like a late piece there. I don't think we need it. All right, just checking some text real quick, making sure that I'm... And that was a big old strike of lightning if you guys didn't hear that. All right, let's go Tank. Continue to stack up. We need wide receivers anyway. He's here. We're going to grab Tank at 186. We're getting him on a fall. The next click would probably be Ray Davis. if he's there. So we ended up getting a double out of this when it was all said and done. We got Schultz and Tank, and we did bring it back with Reed. So feel pretty good there. I mean, I could have forced Ray Davis there instead of Dell, but Dell was the faller. Maybe Ray was too. Yeah, no, Dell was the faller. Sean Tucker. Just for a body. Maybe we wait till the end for like Braylon Allen. I don't know if it makes sense at this point. Maybe we just attack wide receiver. We're up to 7. We could stop at 4 here too. I think this is a build where you can totally justify a 4 running back build. You got CMC, Henry, and Judkins. I mean, you're making that bet on those guys. And then if anything happens to Gibbs, you've got immediate contingent upside here in Pacheco. So I could have stopped at the 2 tight ends because I chose to get Schultz because I thought he was good value there. And I wanted a stacking partner with Stroud. I think you can justify the 4 and just finish this up with more wide receivers. Totally good on that, doing that as well. At that point, I'd probably lean into like Jeremy Bernard here because we've got that Pittsburgh, Baltimore. We got the 2 pieces, get the rookie upside in Jeremy. And then maybe we could end this with like Bateman or Knoll. We could go down here and get like a low ownership piece. Where's Jalen Knoll? Yeah, he's right here. But over guys like Booty, I don't know about that. Hurst, don't know about that either. We'll see if those guys are here. Yeah. No, I think it came together well. I'm thinking of stopping at 4 on the running backs, 2 at quarterback, and going 9 on the wide receivers. I still think I want to lean into the 9 on this build based on where we started, 31, 79, 90. That's certainly not the same as like 5, 20, and 29, right? Those are 2 completely different stories. You know, people say, oh, you got 3 before 90. It's like, okay, what 3? This 3 is not the same as those 3. So, you know, you got to play it a little bit different. But we are going to grab, let's see if Booty's still here. If he's not here, I'm thinking maybe, yeah, we're going to go Knoll. I mean, they decided for us. We're going to triple out. We're going to just triple out Stroud. All right, and that's it, guys. That's the final build for today. Let's review it real quick. We end up 2493. I mean, we literally did every build you can think of today. 2493, 3573s, 2672, 3672s. I mean, you name it. Dude, we built every damn roster construction you can come up with today. This one was a 2493. Josh Allen, CJ Stroud, Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, Quinshon Judkins, and Isaiah Pacheco. We had Zay, Jaden Reed, Chris Godwin, Wendell Robinson, Jacoby Myers, Rashid Shaheed, Tank Dell, Jeremy Bernard, and Jalen Knoll. Tight ends, Tyler Warren, Harold Fannin, and Dalton Schultz. I mean, you name it, we built it today. Every which direction you could slice it, we put it together. We did 2 puppies, 3 puppies, I think, a boxer and a BBM. So 5 streams for you guys today. Appreciate you guys all stopping by the channel. It's been a blast. If you guys aren't already following the channel, subscribe, smash that subscribe button, hit the like. Appreciate all the support. We're just building bangers every day until NFL kickoff. and that's gonna do it for this episode. We'll sync that down real quick, and we'll get some feedback on our builds. But yeah, that's it for today's episode. 5 more drafts in the books. But yeah, you guys be good, be safe, take it easy, enjoy your Friday, have a good night. I'll probably catch you guys tomorrow. Until then, peace.